Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle
and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And you know what? I'm excited about today because this is our year-end wrap-up. This is a review that we do every year. And you know what? I'm excited. Why I'm excited? Because we got through another year, pandemic and everything. And not only did we get through another year, it's shows successful and we're growing. So I'm excited about that. So all you guys that's about to tune in, make sure you like and share. Make sure you share this. You're going to hear a lot of information. We got a couple great things, great information. We're going through the entire year of our top 10s, our top 5s, and we got some special guests that's going to jump in. We got some guest co-hosts that's coming in. Good friend of mine, big exclusive. We got Tanima jumping in, my man Cole. We're gonna have a great show today. So I'm super excited. So if you tune in, make sure you like and share, subscribe, and jump into this conversation. I'll make sure that if you got a comment, make sure you put a comment. I'll pull it up so we can talk a little bit about what's going on and what has happened this whole year. How are you maintaining and how are you pivoting? Because a lot of people had to pivot. I think We Talk Weekly had the ability to pivot. So I'm excited about that because there was a lot of people that found that as a challenge, right? And so we had the opportunity to seamlessly, it seems, transition. So I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. You know, our last show for the year, I'm excited about that. We put the work in, we put the time in, and we got the love in, no doubt. So without further ado, we can't start the show, ladies, without me asking you, how was your day? How was your day?
My day was good. I'm just excited about us, getting together. This is our final show. And, we've been putting that work in over the last couple years. And it's just been awesome to kind of see, some of the seeds that we have sown just beginning to sprout and to grow and all that good stuff. So I'm excited, and I'm hopeful that 2021 will be an amazing year, a comeback from 2022. I saw a meme that was like, peace 2020 and hello 2021. So yeah, I had a great day and I'm excited about the future. I just feel like something great is coming. So
no doubt.
We made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
We made it. We here. We definitely here. 2021. This is our last show for the year, going right into 2021. And we're gonna probably replay this at the top of the year, the first, so all you guys can see all the beautiful people who had the ability and a chance to join our last show for the day, man. So I'm excited about that. Classy Lady Sparkle, you got to tell me, how was your day? How was your day?
My day was cool. I did go out and try to see if they had I'm the person that I don't buy nothing until after Christmas, so it's 75% off, so then I could decorate my tree nicely the next year. So I did go out and I looked at, a few things. I ain't find nothing. But like you said, Charles, it's definitely a stick and move type of year. It's like you had to pivot, you had to learn, you had to grow. I'm so excited about our show today. Like you said, the co-hosts, the guest stars. I mean, I couldn't wait till we, went live at 8:00 and ready. So I was excited all day for this time.
No doubt.
How about you? How was your day?
It was all right. It was busy preparing for the day, preparing for this show. I don't know why I'm super excited. I'm super excited, man, because a lot of people counted us out. They didn't think we would be here this long. They thought that we couldn't stand the times. We put our back against the wall, ashy knuckles, so we was ready for it. And so that's why I'm excited, man, because we here, man. We partying, man. Get your weight up, man.
Right.
Please believe it, man. We doing what we do, like we do for TV. So I'm excited about that. So we're gonna jump right into it. Right after we get into good news, bad news, and then the sizzle. We're gonna bring in some co-hosts. Of course, we got Lily. She gonna give it to us. Our music. We got Lady S down, and then we got some special guest co-hosts that I'm excited about, and we're gonna have them come on and start what they doing, what they do best. You want to talk a little bit, so I'm gonna start with you, Classy Lady. I want you to tell me, we're gonna go into good news and how
I didn't know. Okay, let me get all ready. Yeah, I'm excited.
No doubt. So
Okay,
come on, holla at me, man.
You gotta give me that early.
Early.
Yes. All right. So as we all know, this is the year in review for 2020. 2020 will go down in history as one of the most unforgettable years to date, with business growth and demise, deaths and healing, social distancing, sanitizing, masks and gloves, no sports, protests, unemployment, toilet paper and Lysol depletion, Zoom parties, telehealth consults, quarantine, elections, and so much more. It's hard to find the best word to describe 2020, but here are a few that may come close: bizarre, uncommon, unrivaled, prophetic, growth, reflection, grief, tumultuous, and anything else you can think of. But however you slice it or dice it, 2020 was either macro or micro, the worst or the best year you've ever experienced. So I'm going to go in the review of kind of like a month type thing. So in January, we brought you good news as Philadelphia hired its first woman's police commissioner. And when I ran that story, I was like, who runs the world? Girls. We run the world. You better turn this mother. Okay, so Beyonce, we got your memo. The city of Philadelphia hired its first new police commissioner, Daniel Outlaw. Outlaw at the time, 44, was the first Black woman to lead the city's police force in Philadelphia. She's now the second woman to take over as commissioner. The update: crime in Philadelphia is still on the rise. And then the police commissioner Outlaw is still trying to get the Philadelphia street safe again. So in January, we brought you the bad news. January 25th, to be exact, We Talk Weekly brought you a story about the coronavirus outbreak. So it read back then, within the last 2 months, there's been a surge in the local emergency room. It's a virus with a new strain of coronavirus identified in Wuhan, China, as the SARS, which stands for the Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. At the time, it claimed at least 41 lives and infected over 1,300 Chinese citizens with pneumonia-like illnesses, according to China's National Health. China had ordered a new hospital to be built in just 10 days. Wow. In February, we brought you good news and bad news about buying education. Sizzle covered one of the biggest bribery scandals in college history, and some of the country's most prestigious colleges and universities were receiving bribes, ranging from a few $1,000s to up to $6 million. In May, we brought you more stuff about the coronavirus. It was for those who earn $75,000 or less, qualified for a one-time payment of $1,200. Couples who filed jointly make $150,000 was going to receive $2,400. So where are we now with that? We're trying to get a second stimulus, and we don't know if it's going to be $600 or $1,200. So as you all seen with Trump telling the Republicans and the Democrats he wasn't going to sign it before leaving office if we don't get the $1,200. So I don't know if that's a strategic plan for him to try to come back. In April 4th, we brought you the earth is repairing itself due to COVID-19. Like I said, it's some good and bad about the coronavirus. Staying home allowed the world to breathe, literally. Since we're social distancing and following proper hand and hygiene, the universe is repairing itself. A hole in the ozone layer above the Antarctica has shown signs of mending itself. The less emission in the air from transportation and industrial plants, the globe is saying thank you. And in May, we brought you 100 dead bodies were found in New York. So in Brooklyn, New York, a police department received a call that there was a pungent smell on Utica Avenue. When the police arrived, they found several dozen of dead bodies in an unrefrigerated U-Haul truck found behind a funeral home. The funeral owner at the time said that he was overwhelmed by the relentless tides of bodies during the pandemic, and he only used the truck for overflow storage, only after he filled his chapel with more than 100 corpses. Now, some would say because the people were already passed away, but the family members to handle those bodies like that funeral director was charged, and I believe maybe pending charges currently. I don't know if he went to court or anything, but that was something that the families were not happy about. So in the month of May was, again, a concoction of coronaviruses and police brutality. And did you ever hear the saying, when pressure pipes burst?
When pressure busts pipes.
When pressure bursts pipes. I always say when pressure makes the pipes burst. That's what it was. So in May, the bad news was the death of Ahmad Aubry. May 9th, we brought you that Ahmad Aubry was killed in Georgia when 3 white men saw him running in their neighborhood, and they armed themselves with guns before getting into a truck to pursue him, and they fatally shot him. May 16th, we brought you that emergency medical technician, Breonna Taylor, an essential worker who saved lives and aspired to be a registered nurse, was asleep in her very own apartment when Louisville police took a battering ram and pulverized through her front door. Taylor and her boyfriend at the time, Kenneth Walker, were in the bed sleeping. Then on May 30th, we brought you the story about George Floyd, who was pinned down by 4 Minneapolis police officers. One of the white officers took his knee and lodged it in the neck and the throat area of George Floyd for 8 minutes, cutting off his air circulation as George called out, "I can't breathe," and then cried for his mother, who was dead and later died. All 3 of these individuals, these beautiful people, were killed in regards to retired police or police officers. And this is what put the world into, we're not taking it anymore, which was a part of that 2020. In May, we bought you, I called it a father's love cost him his life. So there's a wrestler, Shad Gaspard. Him and his family were vacationing on Venice Beach when Gaspard and his 10-year-old son, Aubry, went swimming in the ocean. Gaspard and his son were caught in very strong rip currents. The 39-year-old WWE superstar demanded that the lifeguards go back and save his son first and then come back for him. They found Gaspard's body 1 week after the Los Angeles counties reopened the beaches. Again, because of 2020, a lot of the searching and the beaches were closed, and it may have not been that there was enough staff that could go out there to look for him at the time. But 2020 has really, really put a footprint in that year. And also in May, 3,000 prisoners were released during the pandemic. Unfortunately, many people have lost their lives due to the coronavirus, but those people who were incarcerated, their lives were in jeopardy as well. And because of that, nonviolent first offenders were also released, and about 3,000 people were released during that time. And in July, we had good news that North Carolina approved reparations for Black residents. Now, what does reparation mean according to Google? It means making amends for a wrong or injury done. Usually reparations are compensation in money payable by a defeated country to another country or an individual for loss suffered during a result of war. But based on these new protests and civil unrest, a city in North Carolina, specifically Asheville, has taken the first step in approving reparation for their Black residents. And last but not least, with a drum roll, the good news is the legalization of pot, tree, ganja, weed, reefer, herb, joint, anything you want to call it. Cannabis has been legalized for recreational use. Not all the way, but for some of these states. So it's Arizona, Florida, New Jersey, New Mexico, and New York. Basically, in 2020, there was an astronomical amount of people who voted to legalize recreational cannabis. The only thing about it is that many African Americans are concerned that a lack of access to capital and systemic economic racism will exclude them from the growing marijuana business. There are 33 states and DC where medicinal marijuana is legal, and there are estimates that 55 million Americans regularly use marijuana. And there you have it, you guys. You can't hear.
There you go.
There you have it.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that because now people who, and you know what the funny thing is, we got to talk a little bit more about one of our guest co-hosts that's coming in today, because he's venturing in that lane of, the ganja, the marijuana, all of the, I love all the names that you put out there.
It's a $1 billion business, and a lot of our people have gone to jail and families ripped up because they were doing exactly what the government is doing now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I'm not talking about just the medicinal aspect. I'm talking about the recreational use, the dispensaries that they have. So, but there you have it. Your good news, bad news year in review 2020.
Quack, 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 quack.
Yes.
So I don't want y'all to go anywhere. When we come back, guess what we got? We're going to have some music. We got to put the music in. So I don't want y'all to go nowhere. We'll be right back, y'all. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? It's your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle,
the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle,
and now we got the beautiful
Lily.
Lily just joining us in for our year in review, and you already know she got some music coming up. So Lily, give it to me early.
All right, I just want to piggyback off of Classy Lady Sparkle. Yes, guys, 2020 is definitely going to go down in our history books. All right, this was an historical year. We all dreamed about what 2020 could bring if we would be like the Jetsons, riding on our flying cars and having our own personal robots. But unfortunately, who knew the world's celebration for the new year with friends, family, and strangers would be the last in-person gathering one might enjoy. However, we can say 2020 definitely pushed us further into technology, which opened the portal to virtual experiences. Right. Music definitely has taken its own spin and adjustments to the pandemic. So here are my top 7 music moments. All right, I'm going to give this one to the Oscars, y'all. The Oscars and Oscar winner Bong Joon-ho. The 97 Oscars appeared on ABC February 9th. This was the first award show to start the year off. They said the Oscars had an all-time U.S. TV viewers. But, it was the second year with no host. But even though it had an all-time viewer rating, they did make history. So we have to give it to South Korean director Bong Joon-ho, who took home 4 awards for his film Parasite. Parasite made history by becoming the first non-English language film to win Best Picture since the awards began. Parasite also took home Best Picture, like I mentioned, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, and Best International Feature. So congrats to him. Which leads us into number 6. We're all about breaking records. We're all about making history, making room for others to succeed. That's always the goal in life. So I have to give it to these 4 individual powerhouse women. I gotta give it to Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, and Beyonce. These women woke up and shook the table, okay? All 4 women made U.S. chart history by snagging #1 and #2 spots on the Billboard Top 100. Doja Cat's remix Say So with Nicki Minaj crowned the #1 spot, giving both artists their first #1. And right behind them, Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce with Savage remix snagged #2. This became the first time rap tracks by female artists secured the #2 spots, y'all. Sisters are making history, okay? Shout out to them, which leads me on to #6, y'all. We gotta give it to, well, Beyonce is setting records. I feel like anything she touches turns into gold. And by that example, we're gonna give it to her proteges, Chloe and Holly. These sisters came in and shook 2020, okay? They came and dropped their sophomore album, Ungodly Favorite, in June, which debuted at #16 on the Billboard's Top 200. These sisters did not let the pandemic stop them from promoting their album. They have been on multiple shows, doing covers, everything. They were on the Today Show, the BET Awards. They did the Dear Class of 2020 virtual commencement. They did Global Citizens, Global Goal, Unite for One Future concert. They were on Jimmy Kimmel. The list goes on, but I have to give it to these ladies because they knew what they had to do. They didn't let anything stop them, and they have a good mentor to look up to who knows you gotta keep the ball rolling. Just like we're keeping the ball rolling, which leads me to my #5. I just want to give a shout out to all of the virtual award shows. This was not easy, I know most of them was thinking about postponing the show, but it's like outside is already postponed. Now you about to postpone the BET Awards. Now I can't get no music right at my TV. But they did not let it succumb. I want to give a shout out to the BET Awards, which Amanda Seales hosted. The Emmys, we got the People's Choice Award. We got VMAs, we got the AMAs, the Soul Train Awards. I'm giving a shout out to all of the virtual award show that came out and still gave us music on the TV. And you know what? I ain't even mad because I couldn't go to any of the awards. So everybody that was going, they had to sit home like me and enjoy from my TV. So I'm happy that they gave us this, y'all. So we're going to keep going. And even though 2020 was, feelings are up in the air, I want to give a shout out to all of the artists who came and dropped their albums this year. It wasn't easy, not being in the studio with a bunch of people having to record at home or whatnot. So I listed just a few artists that came out that dropped their albums. Some like Megan Thee Stallion, who dropped her Good News album. Tiana Taylor, she dropped her The album. We also have Pop Smoke, rest in peace to Pop Smoke, who they dropped 50 Cent in them drops Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. We have Janae Aiko for Chilimbo. We also have ASAP Ferg with Floor Seats 2. Chloe and Holly again with Ungodly Hour. We also had some Brandy. She dropped B7. Chris Brown and Young Thug with Slim. The list goes on, guys. The list goes on. But shout out to all of the artists who dropped their albums, EPs, mixtapes, singles, just everything this year, who was still giving us music, even with everything going on with the pandemic. We thank you. We have our #2, which it was hard. It was really hard because I was like, do I give it to #1 or do I put them in #2? But you know what? I gave it a #2 because these two powerhouse producers, Swiss Beats and Timbaland, came together and gave us music right on our couches. They thought about us and wanted to do it for the culture. So Timbaland, Swiss Beats, they both kicked off with battling each other, going head to head. That was the first episode. And after that, the rest is history. They paired singers, producers, and songwriters together. They also won Break the Internet Award in May for breaking Instagram's record for live streaming with 750K viewers. Now, if you watched it, you know a few of the battles included big names: Sean Garrett and The Dream. We had Brandy and Monica, Jeezy and Gucci. We had The Gospels was in there, Kurt Franklin and Fred Hammond. We had the producers, Manny Fresh, Scott Storch, and the lovely ladies, Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. So we got to give my top 2 to Swiss Beats and Timbo for giving us verses. And verses is still going on. We will be seeing Keisha Cole and Ashanti next month. So season 2 is doing what it needs to do, y'all, because season 1 ended just right, okay? And this is the last one, y'all. My number one is special because she has a great role model in her life. She has abundant amount of examples. You know, people breaking records around her, setting the game straight, making room for more people. And you know, I had to give this to my little sis, Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy broke a world record just like her mama. She won. She took home the first BET Awards for BET Her Award. She became the youngest winner of a BET Award. And this is for the collaboration on Brown Skin Girl, which features, you know, her mama Beyonce, Wizkid, and St. John. Congrats to Blue Ivy. Not only that, Blue Ivy also took home the Soul Train Music Award for Video of the Year, Brown Skin Girl again, and the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Duo or Group. My sis has also been nominated for the Grammys. So when she takes those Grammys home, yes, you heard me, those Grammys home, she will be the youngest person to win a Grammy, y'all. So I have to give this to Blue Ivy. She is breaking world records at a young age. You know, she gonna keep breaking them. And that's all I got to say. Shout out to Blue Ivy. Shout out to everybody this year that was holding it down with the music. Just thank you. Thank you for keeping us entertained during this whole pandemic. Staying home wasn't always the best, but they definitely kept us entertained, kept us engaged. So I can't wait for what next year is going to bring. And I just want to say that's the 2020 wrap up, my top music moments. And it's your girl Lily, y'all.
That's right. That's our girl Lily in the building. Shout out to Lily. That's one of my highlights for We Talk Weekly this year is that we incorporated Lily in the music. We also incorporated Lady Esther in some sports, man. You know, we continue to grow, and I'm excited about that. And you know, there's nothing else left to be said, but it's time for the sizzle. You ready for the sizzle? I'm ready.
Are you ready for the sizzle? Because it's about to
I know
get
that's
sizzling.
right. I'm ready for the sizzle. So give it to
me. Yes. So 2020. Oh my gosh, 2020 was just off the chisane. Okay, what did not happen in 2020? Well, Sizzle's top 10 celebrity news stories that rocked the nation, starting with number 10. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, now the former Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they stepped down from their duties as senior members of the royal family, a decision that shocked the UK and the US. The couple faced a lot of backlash, some calling it the Megxit. People reported that a friend of the couple said the exit was to protect his wife and son. Because if you remember what happened to Princess Diana. But anyway, it was also rumored that turmoil existed between Prince Harry and his brother, Prince William. But following the couple's exit, they moved to Canada and later settled in LA. And they are making their own waves. So y'all go ahead. Go on right ahead and do that. Number 9, Kim Kardashian made the announcement that Keeping Up with the Kardashians was coming to an end after 14 years and 20 seasons. In an Insta post, Kim went on to thank show producer Ryan Seacrest, the production team, and E. Kim also announced that the last season will air in 2021. Many longtime fans of the show were heartbroken after the announcement, but I am sure the Kardashians will have something great in store to keep themselves in the public eye. Okay. Number 8, cancel culture is real. Cancel culture. I don't know why I can't say that, but cancel culture is real. Okay. Just ask Doja Cat. Fortunately for cats, they have 9 lives, and Doja now has 7 after she got 7 lives after Twitter tried to cancel her once again for being in a tiny chat room talking with other anti-Black people in the chat. If y'all remember that. So in the past, Doja admitted to hating her Blackness and only liking her thickness and light skin features. Twitter users said that her song Didn't Do Nothing is in response to Sandra Bland's murder. They explained that the didn't do nothing phrase is a racial slur for Black criminals who get locked up but use the phrase I didn't do nothing as excuse to get out of jail or police custody. Twitter also tried to cancel Doja in the past for her homophobic views she expressed in old tweets. But Doja, she made a comeback later this year, though, so I guess all is forgiven until next time. Number 7, rumors started swirling that nice lady Ellen DeGeneres was not so nice after allegations of a toxic workplace, including sexual harassment and discrimination, got out. Former employees of the Ellen DeGeneres show started speaking out about how difficult it was to work there. News broke in July about producers sexually harassing their staff, and that definitely wasn't a good look. And it added a tarnish to the good name of the show that spanned almost 2 decades. Ellen acknowledged that the show wasn't perfect, and many celebrities came to Ellen's defense, such as Kevin Hart, Katy Perry, Jay Leno, and more. Viewership has declined, and rumors continue to circulate that the show will be canceled. Number 6. All right, we're getting close. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion happened just at a time when we needed it. The reunion special kicked off. It was on HBO Max with the cast getting together at the set, minus the late James Avery, who played Uncle Phil, rest in peace. The cast discussed their experiences working on the show, and the moment everyone wanted to see was Will Smith and the original Aunt Viv, Janet Huber's sit down. Will and Janet, they got a much needed opportunity to clear the air and apologize to each other and let bygones be bygones. So that made me happy, and I'm sure that brought some little closure to Janet Hubert. Number 5, Kanye West ran for POTUS. Yes, I said it. Kanye West ran for the president of the United States under the birthday party. Mr. West announced he was running for president, although no one ever took him seriously. Kanye had a meltdown at one of his rallies when he revealed that him and Kim considered aborting their first child. Soon after, Kanye's name appeared on the California ballot for vice president under the American Independent Party. Needless to say, Ye didn't win, but however, he did concede, unlike some folks who have yet to do so. Number 4, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend suffered the loss of a pregnancy, which is pretty traumatic. Chrissy took to Twitter to make the announcement, along with some heart-wrenching photos of her holding the stillborn baby in her arms at the hospital. Some critics thought Chrissy should have kept the loss to herself. However, many people applauded her decision to make the news public, and it gave other women who suffered miscarriages some comfort. Number 3, so I know y'all can't forget this one. We're going to be talking about this for a while. But number 3, entanglement gate. Yes, how can we ever forget the entanglement that rocked the nation and gave a whole new definition to the word entanglement? Jada Pinkett Smith was brought to the red table by hubby Will Smith after singer August Alsina revealed during an interview with Angela Yee that he had a relationship with Jada, and Will was okay with it. He gave his blessing. But America couldn't help but feel pity for Will after Jada admitted to the fair, calling it an entanglement, while the entire sit-down went viral. But if anybody can bounce back, it's definitely Big Willie from Philly. The couple, who have been together for over 2 decades, are still together. So shout out to Will Smith and shout out to them. Number 2. All right, everybody, get your Kleenex. Okay, get your Kleenex because these last 2, they was definitely a doozy for 2020. And, our hearts are crying out. But number 2, we lost our forever Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, who died at the age of 43 after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. He was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016 and battled with it for 4 years and the whole while bringing us some of the most amazing films in history, including Black Panther, Marshall, The Five Bloods, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is out now. And I'm kind of like on I'm like, I don't know. I'm not ready yet. But Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and, just to name a few. But he definitely changed the game and he will definitely be sorely missed. And our last and final one, drum roll. Number 1, the biggest and most devastating loss of 2020 and in the NBA history was the loss of our beloved legendary Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. The world stood still after the tragic death of the late great basketball legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna Bryant, where the two, along with 7 others, were killed in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. Kobe, Gianna, and her teammates, their parents, and their basketball coach were traveling to a game when the helicopter crashed into a hillside, leaving no survivors. Kobe has broken so many records and changed so many lives, and the loss of this legend leaves a hole in the hearts of all of us and a void that we will fill for a lifetime. Yes, so rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, two of the greatest kings. And I'm your girl Lauren Sizzle, and that was the Sizzle Top 10 for 2020. Hey.
What's up?
There you go. I put myself on mute. I keep taking it off. See what? I couldn't do this without y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. I really appreciate that. That's why I like the Sizzle, because we get a chance to talk a little bit about entertainment, what's going on in pop culture. So I'm excited about that. Next up, we got the sports, but don't go nowhere. We'll be right back, y'all.
Hey, this is Roxanne Shante, and your week cannot be complete unless you listen to or watch We Talk Weekly. Please believe it, baby.
Hey, please believe it, baby. And please believe we got that sports coming up. Lady S. You got me?
I got you.
Well, give it to me early.
All right, so I'm going to go through 6 quick stories for y'all, top in 2020. First, hi Tish. So first and foremost, we're going to start with number 6, which is a more recent story. I mean, and more like a bonus. I just had to put this out there because it was big for me, entertainment for me. Our heavyweight boxer Mike Tyson coming out of retirement after 15 years to fight Roy Jones Jr. at the age of 54. The fight itself wasn't that exciting, but all the hype around it was. I mean, it really brought people in and drew that crowd. And the event itself brought in all these entertainers, and it was like a mini concert. And more so in their fight, we had a basketball player who wanted to fight who came to fight for the first time, Nate Robinson, and I think he was probably the biggest meme approaching the end of the year. We're gonna see him around for a while with that crazy knockout, but he says he's okay. So shout out to them. So number 5, Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl for 2020 with one of the NFL's most dynamic players and the quarterback Patrick Mahomes and longtime offensive genius Andy Reid as head coach, also known as we know him as one of Philadelphia Eagles' previous head coaches. And the Chiefs defeated the San Francisco 49ers 31-20 in Super Bowl 54. And it's almost February, y'all. So we about to go into Super Bowl 55. Y'all ready for that? So number 4, this story, I just couldn't believe it when I heard it. So Major League Baseball, the Astros got hit with all these tons of penalties because Major League Baseball, I said basketball, hit the Houston Astros with penalties after determining the team stole signs of pitchers during the 2017 season and part of the 2018 season. This illegal system that the Astros put into place allowed them to advance and win the 2017 World Series. Now, there was some controversy around the Astros being able to keep the World Series title and the trophy, but to date, the Astros retained their 2017 World Series title. The team was fined $5 million, and it forfeited its first and second round picks in the 2020 and 2021 drafts. For years, some individuals and other teams had suspected the Astros of stealing signs, but there was no public reporting of the subject until November of 2019. The Astros used a video camera in their center field seats to film the opposing team's catchers' signals to the pitchers regarding the next pitch, so they would know how to communicate to their team members. The Astros players and staffers use various audio cues and signal to the batter what type of pitch was like coming next. The team's GM and field manager was suspended for the 2020 season, but other than that, that was all they pretty much got for being reprimanded. So I thought that was nuts. Number 3, Tom Brady leaves the Patriots after 20 seasons. And after 20 seasons and 6 Super Bowl victories with the New England Patriots, quarterback Tom Brady signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady was the talk of the NFL offseason in 2020 after announcing he was leaving the Patriots and longtime coach Bill Belichick. Brady reported considering signing with several other teams, but in the end, he chose the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is a longtime adversary of the Atlanta Falcons, as both teams play in the NFC South. Number 2, the City of Angels. That's right, Los Angeles becomes the City of Champions. The Los Angeles Lakers won the 2020 NBA Finals, and the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. I mean, you know, when has that last happened in any city where you got, you know, the World Series and NBA Finals winners in the same city? So one of the most successful franchises in Major League Baseball history, the Dodgers, won their 7th World Series title during the 2020's abbreviated baseball season. They trailed the Atlanta Braves 3-1 in the NLCS, only to come back and take 3 straight from the Braves to advance to the World Series. They defeated the Tampa Bay Rays 4-2. The Dodgers joined the Los Angeles Lakers as the city's 2nd championship team this year. Early in the year, the Lakers captured their 17th NBA title by defeating the Miami Heat. The Lakers are tied with the Boston Celtics now for most championships won in league history. And I totally predicted that and thought it was a great way for the Los Angeles franchise to end on a high note after everything surrounding Kobe. So I knew LeBron really wanted to, you know, do that for him. And number 1 top story in sports for 2020 was unfortunately the coronavirus pandemic. It really took a toll on sports this year. It was crazy. The coronavirus pandemic impacted every American amateur and professional sports league, resulting in cancellations and postponements of many events, including the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. When have y'all ever heard of the Olympics being canceled?
Yeah, that's big. Yeah.
Like that's crazy. And significantly reduced seasons for others, including Major League Baseball, NBA, hockey, NFL. I mean, canceling games, having to move games. Even the NFL, once they started on schedule, there were still games that they had to shift and move around because players were contracting it, and then they couldn't have them play. So it was like, this game is get canceled, that game is canceled. We've even had football games on Saturdays and Tuesdays when normally, you know, it's Thursday, you know, Sunday and Monday. But they've been having to make it work because we still have players that are being affected. On January 9th, the World Health Organization announced mysterious cases of pneumonia-like illnesses in Wuhan, China. On January 21st, the first U.S. case was confirmed by the Atlanta-based Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Thus began a series of events that impacted every sport in the world, amateur and professional. Even sports leagues were affected. And the NFL canceled its preseason and began its 2020 regular season with no fans in the stadiums. So that was the other big thing. We had, once they did resume, they were resuming without fans. And then we also had the NBA playing in this bubble, which actually caused a lot of issues for the players and for their families because they had to be separated, which they weren't used to. And then it was like, started getting reports of depression from the players, and it was just a lot. But the effects of the coronavirus on worldwide sports is being felt still to this day. So hopefully we'll have a better year in 2021. I'm already rocking my Happy New Year's hat because guess what? I'm ready to be there. I'm like ready to be over there already. Like, let's hurry up and get there.
I'm excited about that. I mean, like I said, I'm just excited about this year. I'm excited about all the friends and followers, everybody who is watching. And if you're watching right now, make sure you like and share. Share this year in review of We Talk Weekly. We really would appreciate you. We really would ask that you even donate. You can donate, hashtag, you already know how that goes, $, We Talk Weekly, $1, $2, I don't care, 50 cents, just something to continue to support us and do what we do. But when we get back, I don't want you guys to go nowhere. When we get back, we're going to have some of our, listen, this is how I get excited, our special guest co-host. We're going to start with Tanima. If you don't know this young lady right now with the Bar podcast and some of the things that she's doing, we asked her to come on down. We asked her to come on down and join us so she can give her top 5, her top 10. We asked Shannon Big Exclusive, my man, all day. When I tell you he's going to give his stuff, he's going to give it too. And then we got my man Colb in the building. That's my brother. When I tell you that he got a lot to say, he has a lot to say. So I don't want y'all to go nowhere. We'll be right back, y'all. Listen, this is We Talk Weekly's After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle,
Classy Lady Sparkle,
beautiful
Lady S Dizzle,
and the beautiful. And we'll be right back, y'all.
DJ Red Alert and the real Roxanne Shante.
Listen, when I tell you, if you didn't see it, listen, we got this thing covered. We in these streets, man. We in everywhere. We go everywhere when you never there. But if we ain't there, we right here. Where we at, y'all? We right here.
We right here.
I'm excited about some of the things that's going down. We got shout out to Tish in the building, man. If you don't know, Tish. That's my girl right there. She's still holding it down.
Lady.
You know what I'm saying? Look, we got people already saying, "What's up, T?" And since while we're at it, go ahead, T. What you got for me? Give it to me early.
Yo, what's going on? I miss you guys so much. I miss you guys so much. Oh my God. So, I wanted to pull some of the craziest stuff that happened in 2020. And one of the biggest things that I thought was, because I like Ratchet TV. Like, if people don't know, I love Ratchet TV. So one of the biggest things was Monique Samuel's binder from Real Housewives of Potomac. Her binder had all the TT on everyone in the group. I thought this was it was just so good. I just loved it when she just came for everyone. And supposedly this Sunday there's going to be tons more, supposed to be some explosive stuff going on. So I am really anxious to hear about what she has to say there. The other big thing, I kind of got things kind of all mixed up. The other big thing that happened this year is, of course, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. Once again, this year was the largest streaming song that was ever played. She's broken world records. And this holiday season, it got over 17 million streams for All I Want for Christmas. And apparently that seems to be very average. That is something that happens every season. So I was, she didn't seem too surprised about that. So I said, okay, good for you. Of course, another thing that is going on that I wanted to mention is the word entanglement was one of the top words used of 2020. It made a huge comeback. Of course, we've all used it in every aspect, even including COVID, which we consider an entanglement, as we were in everything that had to do with COVID. And speaking of COVID, how about a 14-year-old is the one that discovered one of the molecules in doing the vaccine.
Wow.
A 14-year-old actually discovered it. So shout outs to her in doing that. And also with the pandemic, one of the things that I discovered is that a lot of the stars are coming out talking about depression and how the pandemic is basically making them feel depressed. And Taraji P. Henson talked about how it has made her feel like she's in a dark place. And I think a lot of us can share with that. In reference to, we were cool in the very beginning, but come March, we'll be a year into this. And I'm sure a lot of people are experiencing a lot of depression, a lot of things that are going on. And the other thing that happened with COVID, on average, people have gained between 15 and 25 pounds during the COVID, which also adds to people's depression. So it doesn't help any at all. And on a lighter note, the whales are back in New York City. So apparently the Hudson seems to be a little cleaner. It has enticed the whales to come back, and there has been some whale sightings in New York City. And also on a lighter note, the pandas are getting busy in Hong Kong. They have been Hong Kong has been trying to make these two mate, and they finally got busy, and they're gonna have some babies.
That's
okay. All right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know what? And that's the thing. They have been trouble. They have been having troubles. They're placed on the endangered species list.
Yes. Yeah.
But it might be something in the air now. You know, they might be smoking that marijuana, that ganja out in there. The pandas.
You never know. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't put past nothing right now. Like
not 2020.
No, not 2020. I really would not. Like I just thought it was pretty cool though that was out there. And of course, there's a lot of COVID babies, right? Fantasia's pregnant. Kelly Rowland's pregnant. I ran into 3 people at work. All 3 of them were pregnant. I was like, keep that over there.
It's in the air.
Yeah, fantastic though, T. What one thing I didn't ask you is how have you been? How is everything? I asked all the ladies, how was your day? So how was your day today?
This has been a trying year for me. I lost my mother this year, and thank God I didn't lose her to COVID though. My mom was 84. She died right before her 85th birthday. So it's just been different. I took care of my mother for 19 years. So to be in an environment where you're like alone, it's different. It's just my daughter and I, because she had to come home because of COVID. So so it was, and then my business got hit very hard because of COVID. So yeah, it's been trying, but I stayed positive and refocused, and had some little health issues. I'm working on that. So but I'm more on the positive side than like the negative side of it, because I think if I stay on the negative side, if we all stay on the negative side, it pulls you the wrong way. Mm-hmm. So we'll get through this, and we are getting through this, and I'm so glad I could be a part of this because I needed this. So
well, we need you, and we love you. You always part of the We Talk Weekly family, so it's all good, and we really appreciate it. Don't get weepy eyed on me. I need you holding us down. Don't do it. We love you. We need you here. So look, I don't want y'all to go anywhere. We almost at the top of the hour, and you know what? We got some special guests that's coming on. I'm gonna bring right after this little clip. I'm gonna bring on Big Exclusive. I'm gonna bring in Colby, but at the top of the hour, actually, we got about 3 minutes to the top of the hour. Let me play this, and we'll be right back, y'all. Woo, I didn't know it was that fast. Oh.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Breezy Shay. What up, is Naya Ahmad?
You already know it's your girl Meghan Monet, and we are
Verbosity.
And we had a challenging 2020. This 2020 was challenging, and I feel not only for us, but a lot of people. We ran across a few different challenges, some such as not being able to travel and going to different interviews that we normally would do if we weren't in a pandemic. Also, we couldn't perform live like we really enjoy performing live. We really love to interact with our people, our fans, our supporters, and that was really hard for us during this time. But we did try to stay active on social media, but it was a little difficult.
So for 2021, I feel like we want to take 21 by storm. We want to be focused in the studio. Yes, that's for sure. So you guys, we want to be back out so you guys can see our faces and perform, and we can see y'all. You know. Yes. Yes. During this pandemic, you know, we all had separate lives, so we weren't able to quarantine together. So definitely studio, traveling. 2021, I see all that.
Yeah. So the studio was definitely a difficult thing for us because a lot of producers, a lot of engineers weren't really opening up their studio because of the COVID-19. So we weren't able to record as many tracks that we wanted to record, and it actually slowed down our EP for a little bit. But you can definitely look forward to seeing it in 2020. Recently, we just dropped a new single called Car Vibes, and we are in the midst of shooting a video for it, and it's going to be amazing. You can look forward to seeing that in 2020 as well. So make sure I'm sorry. So make sure you guys tune into everything we're about to do in 2021 because it's about to be epic. You can follow us on all social media platforms at Verbosity BMN, and that's everywhere. You can look at all of our music on any platform there is. And be sure to tune into our YouTube vlogs. We keep you guys posted on everything. So,
and also, guys, we have merch. So make sure y'all get y'all shirts, y'all wear masks.
Definitely.
Stay protected during this crazy time that we're going to. But we want to definitely thank We talk weekly. Thank you guys. We're sending you all our love and blessings for this holiday. And I hope you guys get to share it with your family. God bless. And thank you guys for supporting us. We love you.
It's 20.
Oh. What's up, party people? What's good?
Hey.
It's a party for real.
Yeah. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you guys on the show. Thank you all for being here with us tonight.
Oh man, thanks for having me. I'm excited. Joining the fam once again.
It's so good to see y'all.
Long time no see, Cole.
We haven't seen Cole as well. I know I haven't seen Cole since we were actually in the studio. So it's been over a year.
Yeah, it's been a little longer for me, but it's always a pleasure to see Cole, T, Lily, Sparkle, Sizzle, S. Charles. It's the family reunion right now, man.
Yes.
Tell me a congratulations. You got married, right?
Yes. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah,
Congrats.
What's up, everybody?
I don't think he heard nothing.
Yeah, he must have missed that.
We sit here talking about him. He's just jumping in.
Look, I'm at a Christmas party. I'm enjoying myself. I had to stop for a minute to say hello to my family,
We appreciate you.
And to wrap up 2020, woo! It's been a heck of a year.
Yes.
It's good to see Big Exclusive. I see you over there, baby.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time. Good to see you, brother.
In a month, I got new sisters now. I got 2 new sisters.
Right.
Shoot. Dang. Woo.
Even though Shannon, I feel like we see you every week. We at least talk to you every week.
I be trying, man, because
thank you so much. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, this show is so important, man. I feel like the culture need this. It needs you guys, and what you do is so amazing and impeccable that I just can't help but to support and try to get the word out as much as I can. You know what I mean? And T and her show. Whoo!
Shannon and I did. I love Shannon to death. Shannon and I did a show together as well, and that was fire. So I
know it seems like we bring the best out of each other, T.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come together, like it's always really good, informative, educational, passionate, and respectful. And I love being able to talk to you, especially when we get to connect. You know what I mean, over the airwaves.
No doubt.
Amazing.
No doubt. And while we talking about connect, we at the top of the hour, and then we got somebody already hanging backstage. This gentleman right here, he came on our show and pretty much laid it down. My man Big Sleeps in the building, but don't go nowhere. We'll be right back, y'all. Sleeps, what's up, baby? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Yo, happy holidays to everybody, man. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
What's good, bro?
No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate you coming on the show for our year in review. Last time we had you on here, man, you was in blockbuster Netflix movies and everything. Before
you know how I do, baby. I'm still in it. Ain't going nowhere.
No doubt. So before we go into anything, you gotta let us know, man. Like, what's the latest thing you've been working on, and then give us like your top, your biggest, your most prominent, memory of the year.
But before we do, Charles, can we give an introduction to him?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, boy, Classy Lady. I got excited. That's my fans and all, but you already know.
We got William Big Sleep Stewart. He's an actor and Coffee and Kareem, writer, producer, and host of Hollywood North Radio. Please give a warm, huge 2020 welcome for William Big Sleep Stewart.
Y'all don't know the name, know the face. You know what I'm saying? That's playing. But yo, thank you so much once again for having me. What a wonderful platform y'all got there, man. We talk weekly. For me, it's been dope. I mean, I think Coffee and Kareem has been a definite highlight for the year. If y'all haven't seen it, catch that on Netflix. Also, Torn Dark Bullets on Amazon. It's definitely one that touches my heart too, because I play a father whose son gets killed by a racist cop. And it just so happened we did the movie before everything started happening with the whole George Floyd situation and Black Lives Matter and Breonna Taylor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a perfect time for us to drop the movie like that. It just so happened the timing. And I'm in another independent called Genesis Code, where I play a professor who finds the gene that shows that that God is real. And that's another independent film. We did that Canadian film out here in Vancouver. And yeah, man. I mean, I got also Cloud Van Tales. It's on YouTube. I play an exaggerated version of myself where these three dudes run a weed shop, marijuana shop, and I never pay for mine because I always end up leaving for some sort of argument. And I'm in episode 15, and that was called Seth Rogen. So if y'all want to check that out, and then I'm in, I think, episode 21 and 23. But if y'all want to check out the series, y'all can do that as well.
How you would slip in your exaggerated version of himself and then say with the weed?
What happened was they wanted to call me Sleep, so I said, you know what? I actually get to act the fool because Ryan, one of the writers on the show and the creator, he was just like, yo, just be yourself. I was like, bro, you sure you want that? You sure? So we did it, and it just worked out. And it's great chemistry. They feel I add something to it. I feel like they're hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of keeps me on my toes, and I like literally being exaggerated. I say things that I might say during the day, like with more energy, more blah blah, more bravado. So yeah, It's definitely a funny one. You know.
Awesome.
So Sleeps, why don't you tell me the one thing that really stood out for you this year? I know that the interesting enough, you came on our show at the top of the pandemic, because that's when we actually, I believe that was the first week we had to pivot and start going virtually with how we do our show. So what really stood out for you this year as it relates to something that you truly remember and you like, wow, this stuck out for me?
Career wise or personal wise? I mean,
anything, my brother. Yep.
Well, to be honest with you, Coffee and Kareem really stood out to me because I got to be on a show with some like amazing cast. I mean, anybody who says that they wouldn't want to do a movie with Taraji P. Henson is a lion moth. But and she's amazing too. Like, and I have to give it up to Ed Helms, Terrence Lil Gardenhot, the dude who played Kareem, the little guy, man, and King Bash, Ron Rico Lee, David Allen Greer, do you know what I mean? Betty Gilpin. I mean, you have to think that caliber of people. For me, I was like, what am I doing here? And it just worked out. Michael Dowse, the director, was amazing. All the writers, everybody was dope. And the moment that stood out to me was I was kind of nervous. But the moment that I sat there and I did that Ja Rule reference, because that was all improv from Ron Rico Lee, saying, "Hey man, what you think this is, Halloween?" And I just jumped in and said, "Yeah, Ja Rule, looking like where would I be without you?" And then, Michael Dowse and Ed Helms, they said laughing at the Village cut check print, and it was basically like, "Go ahead, do your thing." And but that stood out for me the most because to be in that caliber of people and just the dynamic. Most people go on set when you deal with those people. There's always one a-hole. Nobody. No, there is. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody would think they number one on the call sheet. But Taraji was amazing, man, and just to learn and watch how quick she is and how professional she is crazy. And I think that every woman, men and women, should just watch her career. And I still don't think she gets the props that she deserves.
I believe
it's amazing.
Yeah. She's been an advocate for mental health. How have you been dealing mental health wise during this whole year?
Well, a lot of people don't know. December 2nd, 2019, I was in a transport shuttle on set, and my boy was driving. He's a transport driver, and he had a seizure. And we basically almost died. We ended up in a 150-foot ditch, like in a blueberry bush. I mean, I had to pull his tongue out of his mouth because he was we stopped 8 feet from a 250-foot drop because I found the gear shift and threw it in there. I mean, these vehicles got 4 GT engines. Like, it's crazy. So I was really messed up over that for weeks. And my auntie, I was going to my auntie's funeral 2-3 days later. So mentally, I wasn't even feeling right. And when I came back, I started questioning myself, like, why am I here? Like, he broke his ankle, his leg, his hip, his back, and I'm here. You know what I mean? And the fact to know how much you love your kids and your family, and those questions run through your head. And I knew how well our union has on, counseling and stuff like that. I bit the bullet, and I felt like, I feel like a lot of times as black people, especially black men, we find that as, that's taboo. Like, I don't need no counselor. Trust me, it's the best thing I ever did, man. Best thing I ever did. I feel great. I can't wait to get back for the January 2001 because people better have been saving money because I'm coming to get it.
Wow. Yeah, you here for a reason, bro. So go hard. Go hard.
But that mental health wise, I'm telling you, please, everybody, if you just talk to somebody. If you got insurance, great. If you don't, there's free hotlines. Just talk to somebody. Nobody has to know. Nobody knows. If I didn't tell y'all would never know. I could have made something else up. Best thing I ever did.
So Sleeps. Why don't you tell me, because I'm interested in knowing once Coffee and Kareem dropped, right, and it started spinning on Netflix. Was there a moment where you felt like, wow, like did anything change like after that drop? Like, what happened for you once that dropped?
Well, I mean, being the fact that everybody was on lockdown, and you know, you're wearing masks. You go out, ain't nobody gonna recognize me. Oh, this is a big black dude. You know what I'm saying? Maybe got arm and eyes. That's it. That's all you. That's all you see. But the moment that when it did drop, is just the people around me. Because I mean, I'm never the one that starts to really brag and tell people what I'm doing. Because I've been cut out of movies before. So we watch it.
I knew that.
Nah, man, they cut my scene. Man. They cut my scene. Like, you know, so I don't do that no more. But I knew this what I was going to be in it. But I felt like, you know, the less people that knew would have more of an impact. And just for the people around me, I mean, they were like, yo, you in this? And you didn't say that? And I was like, well, you know what? Like, he's got a plan. And when it started to pick up steam, I think was the most, like, the craziest part where we knocked Ozark and Tiger Kings out of #1 spots and all that. That's when the tear, literally a tear came through my eye, and I was like, you know what, this is great. My agent was happy, and I kind of felt that kind of puts the stamp on, like, you know, this kid's got something. I'm not saying I'm the most talented dude in the world, but you know, I got something. You know what I mean? It gives you a little bit of confidence. It makes you feel better. You're no longer thug #1. You know what I'm saying? Or inmate #3. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get an opportunity to shine. So for me, I think the turning point was just the recognition that I was getting from just my peers and just being nominated this year for, you know, Best Actor in 3 different platforms. Torn Dark Bullets and 19 nominations. We've already taken home 13 and we still got 20 film festivals to go. So that's huge too, right? So I don't think we're done. You know, I always walk, and my boy Maestro Fresh West is a Canadian hip hop icon. We always say, you know, we're doing this work, we're working hard, but we ain't Denzel yet. So, you know, it's always to stay humble and stay positive.
Dope.
Yes.
We're better than everybody.
Fantastic, man. You always have something positive to say when it comes to that's why we love having you. You know how we say it. Once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show, man. And you know, we really appreciate you, my brother. I mean, you gave us so much love, and because of that, we love the return of favors and everything like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, I pulled it up for you. Go watch. Is it still on Netflix?
Oh yeah, this ain't going nowhere. This gonna be like one of those movies. I hope to God it's one of those ones that falls into this generation. Like we had Friday and we had all those menace. Don't Be a Menace and all that kind of stuff. I just hope it becomes one of those because I mean that cast is amazing.
Yes.
Cult classic, as they say.
Yeah. Trying.
So, my brother, you know, I appreciate you jumping in. I know your time is, you know, very high. So that I'm
in no rush. I'm in no rush.
Okay, we might have to keep you on for
the holidays.
No, but I do want you to tell everybody where they can get in contact with you, where they can find more of your stuff, all that good old stuff.
You can find on Big_Sleeps. I need the followers. I'm horrible with it when it comes to that because I don't like to ask people, but yo, you better follow me because I need those numbers. But it's Big_Sleep. And you can also follow at Hollywood North Radio. It's just a little radio show we do every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But I sometimes do run on Black People time, so sometimes it's noon. We got no parental supervision, so you know the time can vary. But yeah, you just follow us on there and catch me there. I'm the dude. I do answer back. It is me. I'm not that dude that has like you know his assistant or whatever. I don't have no assistant to be honest with you. So yeah, if you follow me on those platforms at Big_Sleeps or at Hollywood North Radio, I have no problem answering questions. You have any questions as far as tips and where to take your career when it comes to film and television or right things to do and the wrong things to do. Please hit me up if I can answer the question, I will. If not, I'll pass it on to someone who can.
No doubt, you got a couple fans on giving you some shouts. You know, shouts you out, my brother. No doubt. So you know, before I let you go, because that's what you're known for. Why don't you give one last inspirational word? That's kind of what you do, my brother.
Well, you know, and you know, I get that from my mom, Sylvia Stewart, rest in peace. You know, I think that what we all need to understand, and this is one thing that I really want people to really take a look at, especially when it comes to this pandemic, wearing masks. I know everybody has their opinion. They say they don't want to wear masks, but, you know, I talked about it on my radio show last week was, you know, we come out of this whole issue with Black Lives Matter. And then you got the other side that said all lives matter. Well, if that's the case, put on your mask, wash your hands. If it's going to take you half hour to go inside to grab your groceries, then all lives should matter. As matter, I don't even want to hear all lives matter. I want to hear Black Lives Matter. If you feel all lives matter, then you should have 3 masks: one in the car, one in your pocket, and one in your purse or one in your wallet. So that way, you know what? If you have to go into a place, wear your mask. Listen, the faster we get out of this pandemic, the more we get back to normal life. And y'all could go back talking all the nonsense y'all want to talk after the fact, but let's save lives because it's children that are mostly affected by this. They are the future. So if you're showing them that ignorance is bliss, that's exactly the way they're gonna grow up. And all the hard work we put into it, it doesn't even matter. Nothing will change because they're watching us act a fool over masks.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Wow, my brother. Listen, King. I love you. I appreciate you, King. And you make sure, when we reach out, you come back on because we need you, my brother.
No, I got you. I see all those other beautiful faces. We didn't get to say what up to all the dudes. Hey, bros, I'm not hitting on y'all. You ain't nothing like that. But yeah, I just want to say, you know what? Yo, everybody on here is amazing, man. And I just feel like, I'm just blessed to be in amongst y'all. Like, this is all new for me. And I'm really enjoying it, man. And I really just feel like, I always tell people, treat people the way you want to be treated. That's what my mother always said. And I really appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here with us. Congratulations on everything you're doing in your radio show. Because guess what? We're gonna come infiltrate your radio show. In the new year. So.
Anytime.
Awesome.
I'll be happy for that.
No doubt. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My man, my brother, Big Sleeps. Make sure you go check out. I'm gonna pull it up one more time for y'all to know. If y'all just tuning in, make sure y'all go and check it out. It's still on Netflix. We're hoping to make it a cult classic. Coffee and Kareem. And he just didn't have no little part, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he kind of. Listen, you just gotta watch it. I don't want to give it up.
I didn't have no Happy Meal part. That's what I call it. I didn't get the Happy Meal part. So it was cool. I got supersized, upsized. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. My God. Well, you take care of yourself and Happy New Year and all that good old stuff.
What's up, yo? Happy New Year. Y'all take care. Thank you so much.
Bye.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, when I tell you that this show is full action packed, it's a lot of things. We have a lot of interviews to do. I appreciate everybody for just kind of like tuning in, somebody say, love your new Prince crown. There you go.
Thank you.
No doubt. Leslie said thank you. Listen, this is why we do it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, we really appreciate your donations. So if you got Cash App, just go to $ We Talk Weekly and send us something. Send us $1. Send us $5. Send us anything just to show that you're listening, show that you're looking at, and you're just holding on with us, and we really appreciate you. So guess what? That's baby girl. You know I like to say bring baby girl in.
They always around, bro.
Always around. So without further ado, we got someone else with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. We got a Mr. Charles Harris. Sparkle, you got something you want to say to me? Holla at me.
Yeah, they call him the Samuel L. Jackson of Philly. Showing up in everybody. He's showing up in everybody's film, no matter the role, big or small. Give a warm welcome for actor Charles Harris.
What's up, bro?
Chuck.
What's up, party?
What it look like? I said, what it look like, Charles?
Hey, man, I'm good. I'm blessed. How's everybody doing?
Beautiful, bro.
Yeah, good.
I'm trying to hear you. They killing me with these notifications. Facebook and all these other apps. They killing me right now. I'm lying.
That's right.
So we got you in. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate you joining in. I wanted this show to be a little different than some of our other shows, right? And when we get into how much and how long we have been doing this show, we have been everywhere. You even been out when we're out, we covering, we on the red carpets, we doing what we do. And the one thing that I always say is, I like the idea that we're able to give a platform to those who wouldn't necessarily have a platform like ours to talk about and be honest and frank with, you know. And so I really appreciate you coming on. But just real quick, I want you to talk a little bit about some of the things you have been doing for those who, you know, don't know too much about you, but also what you have coming up.
Okay, you know what you mean? Things in the past?
Yeah, sure.
A blast from the blast. Well, for all the newcomer folks that may not know me, my name is Charles W. Harris III. I am an actor from Philadelphia. I've appeared on, you know, many films and TV shows. The list goes on from, you know, Stomp the Yard 2, Creed 1 and 2, House of Cards, Brotherly Love, Glass, Boston to Philly, a lot of different others, a lot of names. But a couple Netflix joints also. But yeah, I'm just, you know, up and coming grown actor that's very humble and love the grind. But upcoming films that I currently have, I'm still working on my personal film, Going Home film. I need you guys to help, come support. I need funds for, you know, the film. So I'll drop that GoFundMe if I could. But I have that's called Going Home. That's about my father who has passed in 2017 from Parkinson's disease. He was a Vietnam vet, and he, you know, obtained Parkinson's disease while being overseas, and, you know, cut his life short in 2017. Also, 2 Netflix shows I'm currently working on. I mean, I really can't give out the name under NDA. Y'all know how that go. But yeah, a couple indie movies, everything like that. I'm trying to stay, you know, relevant and grounded. You know what I mean? Until I kick those Hollywood doors down.
No doubt, my guy. I really appreciate you, man. And you've been doing a lot of work, you know, and been working. And it's hard for, you know, Philly artists, so to speak, to continue to keep that grind without feeling overwhelmed or burdened, you know, because there is a lot of competition here in Philly. And you know, it's just one of those things, man, that I see you out there, I see you grinding. So what continues to keep you pushing and doing what you do?
Me following that goal and that quote that I stated before to you guys, you know, I'm not going back to regular work. I'm not going back to work for somebody else. Like I said, the quote I stated was, if you don't follow your dream, somebody will hire you to follow theirs. You know what I'm saying? And I refuse to go back. You know what I'm saying? I already sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed a lot, down to selling my home, down to leaving my, at the time, career job where I was salary. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I did all that. I left all that not to go try to work at McDonald's to get paid less than what I was making when I left. So I didn't want to feel like it was a waste of a sacrifice. So for real, I'm gonna continue on the straight path of what I'm doing and just rock out. It's gonna work.
Now, I understand the NDA and all those guidelines, but you've been posting a lot of pictures, you know, reading your script and your trailer and all that, and your trailer looking kind of fly, bro. This movie you're working on right now, you know.
I ain't gonna front. That was the first time I had a huge trailer like that. I'm talking son of Denzel. You hear me?
I know that's right. So how has production changed during this COVID?
Oh man, production is cool, but with this whole COVID thing, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. Like, I don't like the mask over my face. I could barely breathe, and, you know, right after every take, don't let it be an action scene. You out of breath, and you got to throw that mask on, and you smelling your own breath. It's like, yo, let me put the mask quick so I can have the mask off. Well, I'm about to go sit in my car, and they call me when y'all need me. You know, it's just overall. But what I will say about 2020 and the COVID situation, it has humbled me. You know what I'm saying? And it kept me still. I know for me, I was out partying in the mix, but it kept me in, and it kept me, you know, really focusing on my craft. I sat down, I started writing a lot more than I used to. You know what I'm saying? I started studying my scripts, getting in tune with the characters more, whereas I was able to bring that character to life better on screen. You know what I'm saying? Rather just, oh, we shooting on Saturday, Friday night, I'm looking at the script like, all right, come on. Trying to, you know what I mean? Remember a lot the night before, you know, so it just sat me down, basically.
Wow.
You know, one of the things that we have that was necessary on this show is for people to kind of acknowledge, you know, what is it, that one thing that happened in 2020 that really stood out for you? It could be professionally, it could be personally. What's that one thing in 2020 that stood out for you?
Sheesh, man. There's so many things, man. You know, never take life for granted, you know what I'm saying? Because you could be here today, going tomorrow. So, you know, love your loved ones while you can, now while they're here. You basically, give the flowers to me while I'm here. Yeah, I mean, type of situation. And just focus. Focus on anything you want to do. You put your mind to, you got it.
No doubt. My brother Charles, appreciate you. We had somebody that gave you a little shout out. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. Hey, sister.
I got a question real quick. Charles, I see the necklace. Does it have any, what is it symbolic of?
Oh, I am a Freemason. Shout out.
I see.
Get it right for y'all.
I know that's right.
And I am also a member of the latest, greatest fraternity, outlined in gold, Iota Phi Beta Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to my guys.
That's
They buzzing him up. That's his scripts and stuff. That's Hollywood. Like trying to get.
Hey, Charles, I got a brown and gold shirt for you too. Don't forget, I got it.
Hold on. See, this. Let me tell you the beauty. Listen, my brother. Let me tell you the beautiful thing about having a show and something that I can do, right?
Mute me.
I've been in that position way too many times,
Oh, hilarious.
My brother, I appreciate you for jumping in. You know, I just wanted to, opportunity to pull in some of the beautiful people like yourself to come talk a little bit to us, some of the things that stood out. But you have any last words? And can you tell everybody how they can get in contact with you and all that good old stuff?
Yeah, my last words is everybody, if you got to go, follow that dream. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop. It's going to get hard. It's going to be times where you want to quit. But in all honesty, that's just the man upstairs. He's basically testing you. He's not going to give you that blessing if you still got that negativity around. So what you got to do is tighten your circle, tighten your surrounding, and focus. And that blessing is going to come. You know what I mean? But you guys can follow me on Instagram, actor_Charles Harris, Twitter, C Harris_actor. Oh, and I'm on TikTok too, y'all. Actor_Charles Harris. She's talking about hilarious videos.
Oh my God. Yeah, if anybody who doesn't know, this is Charles Harris, aka Chocolate Chuck. Look for Chocolate Chuck on social media if you want to be entertained.
Working on a movie. So y'all
that sounds like another name.
Oh no.
That sounds like another name. I don't know, but I ain't calling
it. Sounds just like it is exactly what it sounds like.
You got to. Yeah, you better get with it or get lost.
My God. Well, you take care of yourself, my brother, and we really appreciate it. And you know something that I always say, man, you already know. You a friend of the show, and anytime you want to come back, my brother, you got something coming up, let us know. Somebody shout you out, my brother.
One more thing. I forgot to do it. Just shout out to my HBCU chain university. We love you. We here. We got a lot of alums that's doing some great things, man. We all got to get together and make something happen for the school.
No,
I ain't even peeped that was you. What's up, bro?
Ain't nothing. I'm chilling square. Ain't nothing.
The down is covering your face. I couldn't see you, brother.
Trying to slide me to the side. That's all.
No, I appreciate y'all. I really thank y'all for having me. I mean, 21, we're going to turn up all the way. Y'all might be coming to me in LA this time.
For sure. My God, you take care of yourself. We out here, bro.
All right.
Charles know everybody. Thank you, Charles.
Right.
No doubt. Look, Leslie said, I went to Cheney. Shout out to Leslie in the building. You know, something else. I got to pull this up because I didn't have the opportunity to do it. But there you go. Shout out the ladies out.
Oh.
Yeah.
They definitely are good.
Let me see. Here you go. Listen, let me tell you, I put him in jail real fast. You're not defunding me. I can do this. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So look, I don't want you guys to go nowhere. We got more to come. Listen, this has been a dynamic show. We've been having a lot of fun, man. But I don't want y'all to go nowhere. We'll be right back after this, y'all.
We just want to get a little background as to who the Fantastic Noise is and the noisemakers. If you can let us know.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, I am Fantastic Noise. I am the original noisemaker, so no one's going to make as much noise as me, okay? And right here we have the Noisemaker Band. This is only half of it. The other stuffs are upstairs. My Kevin Lamar, Lonnie, and Dobbs, who are the actual band members. These are the background singers. And we came to make some noise. We came to bring that noise today. That's what we trying to do. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did you guys get together?
Oh man, so it started with, I've been doing this on my own for almost 3 years now. And man, I guess each of these people here have different background stories. Most of us went to the same church together and we just kept going. This one, this is one of my assistants here, one of like my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader here. She's an assistant. So we just been building, and the same thing with upstairs with the band, just meeting through people, kept networking, kept seeing, and it was just like God ordained. Bam, here we are.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, could you guys do We Talk Weekly a favor?
Yes.
Can you give us a drop in a melody type way?
Oh, a melody type way?
Yes.
Okay. So We Talk Weekly?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do something like this. We talk weekly, come and hear us. We talk weekly, come and hear them. 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 We talk weekly, come and hear them.
Okay, get beautified because y'all already gorgeous.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're back. We Talk Weekly in the building. Listen, this is We Talk Weekly's After the Talk on WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. And it looks like we got our next guest, our special guest coming up. So, Classy Lady, why don't you do the pleasures?
All right, we got recording our artist of A More Love Records with a single out now titled Omi. Please welcome our girl from Harlem, Vina Love.
It's great energy.
How are you, girl?
I'm well. I'm doing really well. I haven't seen you guys in like a year now.
Yeah. It's been some time, and we really appreciate you coming back. Listen, we following your Instagram, your stories. We see you working, putting in that work, so we know that you're busy. So I appreciate you spending this time to come back and show us love over here. So real quick, before we get into what's the one thing that kind of stood out for you this year, right? Tell us kind of like everything that's going on with you right now. What's going on? Some of the things you got coming out. We know the single is out. We're going to make sure that we play that on the station. But tell us some of the things you're doing right now.
So, a lot. Honestly, a lot is going on. So I finally signed my deal. I'm in partnership with Cinematic Music Group. I started my own label. I'm the youngest woman to have her own record label, so I'm extremely proud of that. Like you said, I just released my first single, Omi, out on all platforms today, and the visual is out too, so go check that out. And yeah, I'm just getting ready to drop my next single. I completely scratched my first album and started a whole new album in July. We pretty much finished with that. We're just getting everything in order, so I'm in a good place. I'm happy. I can't complain.
No doubt, no doubt. The one thing that I appreciate you is from you is how humble that you are, and for those who don't know, Miss Vina, that's the daughter of Kid Capri. It's exciting to see that you are carving and creating pretty much your own success. How and I asked you this question last time you was on this show, but how I know your father at this point is just excited to see that you're kind of like bubbling and doing your own thing.
I mean, for me, it's great. It took a minute for my dad to get used to because he constantly wanted to help and like be a part, and it was just like, no, like you gotta let me do this like by myself. I want to be able to make my own decisions. I want to be able to make the music I want to make, and I want to be able to learn like my own things. Especially with having my own label, I can't have you telling me everything I need to do. Like I need to learn certain things, do trial and error. So it was a little rough in the beginning, but he's definitely getting used to it now.
No doubt, no doubt. Your fans, your fan base, your music. I have seen a little change in your music too. Have you I guess started thinking about, you know what? You know, this is how I'm feeling. Is it a natural progression? Is it the pandemic? What is it that's kind of changing the shape of your music?
I think just spending a lot of things, honestly. Well, first and foremost, this year has been pretty crazy for everybody. And I made so many different kinds of songs, and it was really just about strategizing. Like, okay, Oh Me is a completely different song than we've ever released before.
Yeah.
But then we have songs that are completely different from Oh Me. So it was really just like being creative and just trying to figure out my pocket and where I fit in the most and where I felt the most comfortable. I noticed I'm having a good problem, but it definitely is a problem. I have a hard time setting myself on one genre of music. So I'm like almost too creative in a sense. So it becomes a little difficult to choose how you're gonna like release what. But Omi was just another one of those like, you know, creative adventures we went on and it ended up working out. So we have so many other songs like that I'm excited to release.
I got a question for you. With the pandemic and everything, you know, artists count on performances. So have you done anything creative this year to get your music out there? Because we look for performances this year, and because of the pandemic, you couldn't do that.
Me, it was, well, that was the one thing that like really stressed me out. And like when the pandemic started and everybody was like on TikTok and like doing all things, I was the absolute opposite. Like I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be doing a bunch of dance videos and singing all the time because the pandemic actually depressed me a lot. Not being on stage, not being able to do my press runs and just completely shifted my life in a completely different way. I had to really tap into my emotions. So I spent a lot of the time just writing music and sitting in the studio and really just like trying to reinvent myself because I was so unhappy. And like being out in the house all day, all I'm doing is sitting on Instagram and you can't help what you see. There's violence, there's riots, people are sick, people are dying. It's nonsense, people getting bullied. Like it was just a constant like reel of negativity for me. So I just pour all my creativity writing and just making the music that I wanted. But it definitely didn't impact me in a positive way initially, but now we're there. Like it's bad for a good thing. So
wow.
I had a quick question.
Go ahead,
I know you had said, you know what I mean, like understanding that you want to carve your own lane, right? But people who've been in the music industry, like myself, not in the artist capacity, but on the executive side, would give anything to be able to sit in a room with Kid Capri and kind of like pick his brain about the industry and about music. So what type of advice do you go to your dad for?
Oh, I go to my dad for all kinds of advice. I just don't let him be extremely hands-on just because I want my own, like, you know, he has his own creative brain and I just want to be able to figure out my place. So that's the only reason why I do like kind of shut it off. But other than that, when it comes to business, even music, like I make music and send it to my dad and get his opinion on it. But I go to him for advice in terms of like people, because he's been around so many people all his life. And I'm now starting to see, not only within my personal life, but just in general, like there's a lot of people out here that don't want to see you win. And that becomes, it becomes a little hard. Like you like for a minute, you'll be like, I don't care about that. I don't care who's gonna support me. But then like, you'll see it's the people that are in those rooms that you kind of need to support you. And it could kind of like, you know, do some damage to your self-esteem and like, you know, just your, it's not encouraging. It's not an encouraging feeling. So I definitely go to my dad to help me maneuver in terms of how to deal with certain situations with certain people, because not only what I just stated, I'm also a woman, I'm a Black woman, and I'm going into a male dominated industry in terms of the business side, because now we have women going crazy and doing everything we're supposed to been doing for years now. But on the business end, it is still very much male dominated. So I'm my own businesswoman now, and I have to make my own decision. I have to. I have people that work for me, so I have to set an example. So I go to him for advice like that. And yeah, we honestly have such a great relationship. We talk about anything, so it's really not like just a standard thing. But yeah, I get advice from him a lot. And I remember too, I got his blood in me, so yeah, like I kind of like how to get and maneuver.
So your vocals, oh my gosh, you came through last time and you gave us life with them vocals. You gotta give us life again. Can we hear something?
Do you remember what I sang last time?
It was Circles, Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay.
I can't remember is it Circles? Going in circles.
Time on my hands since you've been away, boy. And I ain't got no plans. No. And the sound of the rain against my window pane. It's slowly driving me insane. Boy, I'm going down. I'm going down. 'Cause you ain't around, baby. My whole world's upside down.
Yeah. Hey.
I was waiting for more. I was like,
that's what I'm talking about. She was like,
I was trying to bring it back up. I can sing now.
Yes.
No doubt. So Fina Love, I love you to death. I want to wish you the exclusive success that you can get, and I don't want you to quit. I don't want you to stop. And when you feeling down, make sure you remember we talk weekly, because we got you, girl. You already know.
Thank you so much, y'all. When all is settled down, I'll be back in Philly in no time. And
That's
thank you.
No doubt. Thank you. So before we let you go, why don't you tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, all that good old stuff?
And where to find the album?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't release the album yet. I'm gonna release it in the summertime, so I'm extremely excited. But I can tell you, I'm naming the album Love Talk. Really dear to my heart. I've had this title for like a good 3 years now. I've made 2 different albums with the same title, so I know when I put it out, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be great. But you can find me on Instagram at VINA_LOVE. You can find my new single on all platforms today: Apple Music, Spotify. Title, and the visual is on YouTube. So please let me know how you feel about it, because I directed it and I edited it myself.
Go girl. Girl. Black girl magic.
Yes.
No doubt. Well, we love you. We appreciate you, and you already know what I say. Once you come, you're a friend to the show. So anytime. So once you come back in Philly, make sure you holler at your boy, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Congratulations, Vina.
Yes. So proud of you.
2 years. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So that would have been live to have the little thing. Shan was trying to blow something.
No doubt. Well, we're still taking it along. We got our next guest, someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. This is like my brother right here. So, Classy Lady, why don't you do the honors?
Yes, we got producer and host of Spotlight Under the L and the new show Kiki, available now on Amazon Prime. Y'all better go and check it out. And longtime friend and family of the show, it's our very own House of Talent PA, Antoine Johnson.
You guys are having the time of your life. That was like, I came in and she was like, my whole world. What's going on?
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Oh my God. Yeah, I just turned 40. So you'll love. I've been growing it out for a few years, and then I got a puppy, and he'd shoot it, so I cut it all off. So this is like 5 months, and I can cornrow it too. So
Let us see.
but look, I have the real witness.
The handlebars.
I better be careful.
Last time I saw you, those things were sticking out, and I said, "Cut those off."
No, but when I shave my face, I look a lot younger, and I'm really embracing my 40. This is like a good thing, Like I said to everyone, I was like, to be 40 years old, not incarcerated, a black man, and not dead. This is perfect.
Right.
He's like, I am an adult, and y'all gonna know it.
Period.
Yeah. But it's so long. Like
it looks good on you.
Yes. Thank you. You guys are having it.
I'm mad because it's all black. Like, there's no gray in there, like at all. Like
no. There's one piece of gray, and it's right here. It's on this part right here.
I was like, wait, you put some big gin up in there?
One.
I try to pull it out and it will not come out. So
well, they say when you pull one out, they multiply, brother.
That's right.
Wait, look at Kobe.
Kobe's telling the truth.
I'm 48. I still look good for that. So I
know. Yeah.
I got all beat. I'm 51, so let's keep it moving.
Yes.
Wow.
But I definitely inherited my grandfather's bald spot, like right here.
No doubt. So Antoine, I want to jump right into it, man. First, I appreciate you for coming to the show because you're probably one of the most busiest people in Philly, man. Have a successful, PR and marketing company. I think you're amazing at what you do. You have launched this whole Spotlight Under the L kind of, I want to call it this ecosystem of creating talent, because that's what you do with that, and you were able to kind of break and spread arms and do different things, and I want to talk a little bit about that, especially as it relates to the new show that came out of that, and really successful, so successful that not only did it make television and they want to take it, but also you're spreading, and you're in Atlanta, you all up and down the East Coast, my brother. Let's talk a little bit about that, man. I gotta give you your flowers right now.
Oh, thank you. Spotlight Under the L was just one of those things where I wanted to do a show called Notes on High, and it really captured people that were in the gospel or inspirational music. It just never caught because most people wanted to be the next Beyonce and not be like a gospel or inspirational singer. So Spotlight Under the L became like my new baby, and that typically is like taking American Idol, The Four, The Voice, and all those things and putting it into one. But what I didn't want to do was pay for royalties for other people's music. So everyone on the show had to have an original track or several original tracks, own their own music, own their own beats. And we were able to put their music out there, all original stuff. So it worked out really, really well. It was successful. First season, it was on Daily Motion, and then we got it on Fox 29. The winner of the last season, it's kind of a struggle because of the pandemic, but he's doing well. Doing a lot of collaborations now. His songs are doing good. It's getting some good plays.
Yeah, fantastic, my brother. So where do we see it next? I mean, the show that you're taking to Atlanta, and it done so very well. I really want you to elaborate on that one, because that's such a dynamic show, and I think it deserves to be broadly accepted. Because of how thorough and how groundbreaking it is, so to speak. Yeah.
So, I created another show called The Kiki Show, and it really, for me, it was part of a journey for myself in life, but also for the LGBTQ Black and Brown community, in a time of, again, a pandemic, in a time of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so much injustice towards Black and Brown people with the police, and at the same time, trans women of color were being murdered, and we weren't talking about all those things in tandem. And so, I took an opportunity after listening to some friends saying, hey, listen, we're part of the Black Lives Matter movement. We understand what we're trying to do, but we have a sense of there's no LGBTQ representation in that. And so it was very difficult to understand that, because at the end of the day, no matter how I identify, when you see me, I'm 6'3", 230 pounds, I'm still a black man. You know what I mean? No one's pulling me over saying he's gay. You know, they're like, that's a black dude, you fit a description, potentially. Do you know what I mean? And so it was hard for me to wrap my head around how you identified translated to the movement as a whole. So, and I also wanted people from our community to be able to express to their friends and family what that hurt and pain was that they've been dealing with all their lives. So the Kiki Show follows the first season 11 contestants from Atlanta who are part of the Kiki ballroom scene. If you guys watch Pose, or if you've watched Legendary on HBO Max, you know, the ballroom scene is the underground scene where Black and brown queer people had a chance to express themselves. And so this particular cast, they've become my new family, you know, and we got an opportunity to explore so much of their hurt and pain, but also their triumphs. And, you know, it was on the CW. It aired in Atlanta and in Philadelphia. And we now will be on the CW in New York, Boston, Atlanta, Detroit, Miami, Philadelphia. Did I say New York City? New York City. And then, you know, we got on Amazon, which was a blessing, you know. And I think of that first week of Amazon, we did like 10,000 like in 2 days. I was like, this is crazy.
Wow.
And now we have a season 2. We will release the new cast on Monday. And we went from 11 contestants to now 18. And it's an amazing journey, because we get to share stories. And I think what the community loves about this is that we're sharing their stories. You know, there were some people that were totally against me doing it. And even after it was on TV and on Amazon, you know, I did get some people who were not pleased with the work. But again, my vision is not normal television. I care more about the stories. I want people to look at someone like me or any Black or brown person, whether they're LGBTQ or an ally, and look at them as a human being. And I think that's what was missing. And this humanized people. In fact, the pinnacle of this was one of the guys on the show. His parents saw it over the Thanksgiving holiday, called and apologized.
Wow.
That's a lot, you know. That's a lot when you're a teenager and your parents give you up and they find out that you're successful on TV in front of the entire family, and they have to apologize. Well, they don't have to, but they chose to apologize. I think that's important. And then, you know, I learned a lot about the trans community. I have some close trans friends, but I learned more producing and directing this show than I ever learned. I've always felt that it was my responsibility as a Black man to protect Black women all across the board. I also thought it was my responsibility as a man to protect women across the board. What I found during this process was that trans women of color feel like gay Black men don't protect them. And that was one of the hardest things, that I had to remove myself from producer director and be human again, and listen to these two trans women tell their story and try not to give emotion, because I still am doing my job, but I couldn't help but just break down and cry, because I felt that pain. When a person says to you, and the quote was, I feel like the LGBTQ is in order. You know what I mean? Lesbians, 2 men can tolerate 2 women having sex. Gay, you know who you are. Bi, you're confused. Trans, you're a mistake. And when she said that, I was just like, I don't understand that. How can you be like, these variables did not really click until I did this project. So it's a tough journey for a lot of people.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
This season is going to be tougher. You know, we went through casting. I would say we went through like 3 weeks of casting to find the cast we have now. And it's hard. We strategize to tell stories, but, you know, this season is going to be tough. We have young people, 19 years old, maybe 20 now. HIV positive, and you know, on the streets at 15, and it hurts me to hear the stories, but these stories need to be told because they're often never told. And when we see people acting out, we don't know why. And it seems like a lot of people don't have compassion or empathy to even ask, how's your day? Is everything okay? And I know, Charles, you work in services, so we're going to be doing a lot of work, and we want to lean on you in some capacity to help navigate through this. I mean, this has been a lot eye-opening experience for me. I never imagined that this project would turn into this. I guess we never do, you know. We're going to produce great television, we're going to tell stories, but we didn't know that we were going to potentially be helping and saving people's lives at the same time. And it's a moment, I'll tell you that.
And that's why I love that you're doing it. I love that you didn't listen to the naysayers and you said people didn't like work, they didn't like this, they didn't like that. And you continue to push forward and continue to do it. Because ultimately the stories that are being told are changing people's lives. And like you even shared with us, are fixing families. Because a lot of people, you know, when they do finally come out to their families, they become disowned, which is why so many people are afraid to do that. And to have that moment to where their family now sees them on television, and I don't know if it was because they're now successful, more so than because they now see themselves and see how wrong they were for doing what they did and see the pain that they inflicted on their loved one. And because not just their story, but now they're watching all these other stories and listening to these other stories, and they're probably like, wow, that's what we did to our child, or that's how we made our child feel, and we were horrible for doing that. So I hope it was more so that than, oh, they're successful, so now I want to be in their life type thing.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that you're right about that. You know, I've seen some things where people are like, oh, my kid's on TV and now we're going to get a check, you know. I truly believe that the way this is delivered, the parents really felt the pain of the kids, you know. Yeah. When you have your child on television saying that, you know, the question was, what would you say to your parents now? And it was like, that you hurt me and I felt abandoned. I think any parent who hears that, they have to feel something, you know, and I would say that a large majority of the cast, a lot of this had to do with religion, you know, and the parents just being embarrassed that their kid is LGBTQ and they're in the church. And I think that embarrassment is the reason why they gave them up. But, you know, everyone came to the same conclusion. It's like, how can you say you love God who you've not seen and you can't love the children that are in front of you? And they're a precious gift that God gave to you. So where is that love that you preach about, you know? So I think that became like a theme for a lot of people on the cast as well. It's a tough pill to swallow because, you know, I couldn't imagine, you know, just abandoning my child for whatever the reason is. It wouldn't matter, you know what I mean? If you break the law and you do something wrong, you go to prison, okay, that's the cross that you have to bear. But if this is something that you were born, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't fit right with me, and it never has. And these people are brave enough to share their story knowing their parents are going to see it. That's the toughest part because they know their parents are going to see it. Everyone's talking about it. In Atlanta, I mean, we pulled a 4.7 rating. That is ridiculous.
Wow.
Like, what? You know, and I think it was time. It was time for people to tell their stories. It's been way too long. Way too long.
You know, for me, I think, you know, and I say this pretty much every show, the reason why I created the show. And it was to give voice to those who are voiceless, right? The marginalized people, groups, you know, who are essentially overlooked sometimes or not shown any, as you say, some compassion, you know. And for me, You Talk Weekly was always built to shed light on that, period. I don't care what group you're a part of, you know. we're always for the underdog, so to speak. And unfortunately, the underdog tend to be us. And it's a rainbow of people that's here with different talents, different skills, and different challenges that they're faced with every day, and we look at us to support and continue to support us, so that said, how are you? That's one thing I always ask, and it's ironic that you ask that no one generally say, how are you doing? I ask that on the show every day. Every time how are you doing? How was your day? So that's a question for you, my brother.
Well, before I go there, whatever lighting you have, I need that. I got all this equipment here somewhere. I got all this equipment.
Wow.
And I don't even use it. Oh no, we're tired of paying people, camera folks.
I know that's right.
Sell iPhones and DSLRs and keep tripods and sliders. I'm good. It's we're just gearing up for the filming. We're gonna start shooting February, and it's good. COVID free.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost some weight and I got like really good abs now. I wasn't gonna bring 40 in lazy because I know that we're still in this pandemic. So as much as we want to get over 2020, 2021 for a couple of months, it's still gonna have, the Rona. She's still alive.
Yes.
Getting on my nerves.
Yes. So for my birthday, I got a piñata, a Corona.
I saw that.
That was the best. That was the best. I watched it like 3 times.
It just would not smash, and then finally, just like the head popped off. I'm like, oh wow, yeah,
real life.
Yeah, in real life, right?
I had a question for you. As a director and producer for the show, and because the material is so sensitive and sometimes really explosive, how, as a director and a producer, do you decide what doesn't get put in the show? Because I can imagine, during filming, there are so many things that are divulged and discussed, especially with those, I'm not sure what they call them, but those one-on-one interviews when you kind of talk about the stuff that happened in that scene or that's coming up. But how, as a director and a producer, do you decide what goes out to the world? And because you seem like such a empathetic person, like you're almost an empath, like you take on a lot from your cast and friends and family and subjects that you decide to film. How do you balance what goes out into the world and what you decide ends up just between you and the cast or on the cutting room floor?
So one of the gifts that I have per se is the ability to like put the puzzle together. And when I realized what the cast was going to be, I knew what questions needed to be asked of each individual person, and I also needed to know who I had to pair together, because there's like this sense of they work well together and they have conflicting ideas, but then there is this one underlying thing that they share. So it was kind of like, just give me your full answer, and I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna like basically transcribe it and weave it into all the good parts. I knew that there was, a guy on the show that he was just the G, but his family was very, very accepting. But he's in the ballroom scene for a reason, and that's to help younger people, to put them on the right track and to like let them know that it's possible to be loved. We had another trans woman on the show who's our judge. I wanted people to know that you could be successful and trans. She's on the show P Valley. So, there's an example of a successful trans woman who's an actress. But her story that we wanted her to tell was, her name change. Over the course of last year, a good friend of mine who's a trans woman, she was attacked and she had to prove that she really was a trans woman of color. And she presented what they call her dead name. And so that to me was like, I need to expose that, because people need to understand that you can't just say what you want and there'll be no repercussions. And these people are still human. So showing the process of, you were born Tony, but you're now Toni. You know what I mean? How did that happen? Well, there's legal documents. So I wanted to share that story as well. And for her, that's a triumph. For trans women, that's a triumph. You know, so it really was just a matter of letting them say what they had to say and then putting it together in 28 minutes and 30 seconds. And how do you do that? You just take the sound bites that make sense and you just weave them together. And a lot of it didn't necessarily end up on the, you know, on the cutting floor. It literally ended up on Amazon as the full piece. So for $28.30 on television, including the commercials, you got like the hardcore stuff. And I will say, yes, I'm empathetic, but I also know what is going to strike a chord in the viewer's heart, mind, and eye. And for me, I don't want anyone to go, oh, these people. I want them like, they're humans. That's pain. This is the success after getting over the pain. And then look at themselves inward. Have I ever done that to somebody? Not just LGBTQ, but anybody. You know, this really needs to transcend community and represent all of us. And sometimes you don't realize what you've done or what you're doing until you see it done to somebody else that doesn't look like you and or that doesn't have the same type of values you do. You know, you look at it someone else, you can then judge and go, wow, have I ever been that mean, or have I ever done that to somebody, or has that been done to me, and what was my response? You know, I think a lot of people don't handle rejection well. These people have rose above and beyond and are thriving, and I think that's important. That's success right there.
My brother. Yeah, I mean, this was, you know, every show is something different. Every show is something special. And, you know, I know that there is a lot of people who will watch this show and this particular segment with you and learn a lot, you know, and become enlightened, and just to show a little bit of, you know, compassion and just be open-minded for this, you know, for lack of a better term, because I think oftentimes we get stuck in our habits, we get stuck in our ways, right? And change is hard for a lot. Even going into this pandemic, right? There was a lot of people who couldn't pivot because they're so used to doing something one way that you have to grow. You're not the same person you were when you were a teenager, right? You become an adult, you made changes. And I think if we can apply that as a metaphor, an analogy for more to come, or what we are as we are giving today, I think we'll be a lot better in the world, you know. But I just want to give you kudos, and again, you know, want to thank you personally, and you know that we have spoken off camera, and you know I'm here for you, and you know whenever you're ready, just reach out, and you know we'll continue to do what we can. Is there anything else you want to say? One last word. Definitely tell everybody where they can get in contact with you, but yeah, leave us with something.
Yeah, so you guys know that I'm always transparent about everything, and so it's one of these. You put on the full screen so I can see everyone's face. I can always, there we go. Okay, this is important. Because I want to be able to see you guys. So through the course of my career, and I've worked with a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of things. And so I want to say that I'm super proud of you guys and all that you do and all that you have done for every community, and not like just certain people in certain spaces, but for all spaces. You guys have done so much, and I don't think that people give you the credit that you deserve. And I truly hope that we can put this on TV, and get some sponsorship and some real dollars. And, you know, and I said to you guys, like, you know, when I have it, I want to do it. So we're going to do it. You know, I truly believe in you guys, and I believe in this, and just there's a vision. You guys had it. You've seen it all the way through, and I'm super proud. And I'm proud to call you friends and family because that's important, super important. So congratulations to you guys.
And you gonna make us cry.
I second that, Antoine.
Yeah.
I always say how important this platform is, and you're absolutely right. I second everything you just said.
Thank you, John.
Stop crying. What's wrong with you, girl?
That was so sweet.
You do know this is being broadcast. But yeah, so definitely keep doing this because the community needs it. You guys are all positive role models to a lot of people, and I think some people are trying to mirror you guys, but they just don't have it right. So congratulations again. And that 2021, I hope that brings so much success for everybody because you talk about pivot, baby. Oh my God. I couldn't even tell you what I'm doing now. You'd be like, no, I'm like, time to stop. Got what you gotta do. So,
my brother. Well, I love you, my brother.
Love you guys too.
How to get in contact with you though?
Yeah, Monday. Let's talk on Monday. You know, we're now into booking flights and hotels. You know, so.
No, how can everybody who's watching find out more and get in contact?
Oh, my social media is at House of Talent PA. That's on Twitter, Instagram. What's the one with the ones that the young kids be on now?
TikTok.
I'm on TikTok. Yeah, it's all at House of Talent PA. And like again, the show will be on the CW. I'm just so happy to pick up these other cities. You have no idea. And then to do another season on Amazon. It's just like it's a dream come true. Honestly, it's a blessing.
Congratulations, and
thank you.
Love you.
Love you guys too.
Love you.
Appreciate you, my brother, and you make sure that something whenever you have something else coming on, just make sure you reach out to us, man. I heart you, my brother, all day, and continue doing what you're doing, and we're just as proud as you. I mean, you have been primarily our number one support, man, and we really appreciate and value that. And so oftentimes I preach that you have to give people their flowers while they're here. You don't want that to be an afterthought. And so I just want to, thank you for that, and continue thanking you for supporting We Talk Weekly. Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
No doubt. Take care now.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Antoine Johnson, good brother, good friend of mine, part of the family. One thing, and I talk about flowers, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention Tish. I think Tish has helped me create a platform that is inspiring and able to, as Antoine said, continue to support, because she was always for making sure that people, especially Black businesses, had a platform and were able to talk. And so kudos to Tish, and she'll always be my partner, my friend, and we'll continue to do what we do. But without further ado, alrighty, we have them coming in.
Yes,
somebody else coming in.
The clock is still ticking. All right,
still ticking. So, classy lady, why don't you do me the honors? Holla at me.
So, here to share her experience and talk to us about this year's biggest topic to date. Everybody knows the Rona's name, COVID-19. Please put your hands together and welcome Lucinda Trotter.
No, she's not here. We got the twins. We jump into the twins right now.
That's what I was about to say. The twins?
Yeah. All right. Well, they don't need no introduction, but I'm going to give them an introduction. The renowned co-founders and Twin Tone Entertainment writers, producers, and actors. Twin brothers, we got Troy and Treasure.
Hey. That's my boy. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Oh my God, look who it is.
Hey, we could be Lucinda if you want us to. We can act and be Lucinda.
where's your brother?
I don't know. Do I ever know where he is?
I don't know.
I'm on time. I just hung up with him too, and he said 10:15. He knew it wasn't going to be official. It wasn't official until Stacy said, "Where's your brother?"
I gotta do this job. I can't do that job right now.
Exactly. I don't know.
No doubt. My brother, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing well. How's everybody?
Fantastic, man. You know, I just want to acknowledge you being here, and I really appreciate it. I'm sure your brother tuned in. But yeah, man, you know, the reason why, look who jumped in. Hold up. Let me see here. Let me see if we can do something here.
Nice.
I'm gonna put y'all next to each other. Here you go.
Wow.
I just spoke you up, see?
Yo.
T already know what it is. She'll tell y'all what I deal with them. I'm sorry, Troy, with Trevor.
It's not that bad.
Exactly.
Oh, it is that bad.
What's up, party people?
Yeah.
What's good, fellas?
Yeah, we definitely in the building, man. And, you know, we appreciate you. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. And, you know, I'm going to just jump right into it, man, because, you know, it's two of y'all. And so, you know, it's, you know, please don't tell me the same thing. You know, I get on Eli Lou, the other twins, you know, they want to say the same things.
Right.
I don't want y'all to say the same things. I want y'all to say something different. So I want y'all to tell me, you know, the reason we had a show is kind of like our top, you know, biggest moments of 2020. So I want you to tell me, you know, what is your, I'll start with Trevor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So tell me your biggest moment or one of the biggest things, one of the more, I guess, you know, things that made you say, oh my goodness, that moment of 2020.
Oh my God. This year, you know what is, I guess the biggest thing I would have to say is I believe I had coronavirus and just didn't know what it was. Yeah, and this was before the pandemic started. It was around February, I think it was. And I was at a party and just went home with like passing out from a fever. And you know, then now all this stuff. Right after that, weeks later, they like quarantine and all that stuff. I'm like, well, did I have it and survived? And you know, I'm like Hercules now. But yeah, you know, once all that stuff happened, you know, started happening, it was really, you know, scary to know that it hurt. I was suffering. I was really suffering. So yeah, everybody be safe. Just be safe, because if it was that, yeah, that was probably the closest thing to death. Yeah, it was that bad. My brother had to carry me to the car.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you considering getting the vaccine?
You know what? I am, and reason being, whatever's going to help us get back to normal life, I'm all for it. I'm not going to resist it. I'm not going, I'm not taking that. Whatever's going to get us back to normal life, I'll take as many as they say if I can stop wearing a mask and hug my loved ones.
No doubt.
I'll take the vaccine. That's fine.
And Troy, I seen you shake your head. What's your position on the vaccine?
No, I'm good, sir. I'm good. Listen, and this is just my opinion, and I don't want to offend anybody because I've lost people to coronavirus, and you know, coronavirus is very real and it's a scary thing. Just in my personal opinion, though, I believe there was an agenda from the beginning, and here we are. We finally reached what that agenda is. If they're willing to give us something for free, and if they're trying to make you have it, there's something behind it. It's never, you know, we're not dealing with a government that's concerned about our welfare. So I don't think that it's all about, I don't think that this is something that's came out of nowhere and they're so in much of a hurry to help us. But I'm with my brother. I you know, if people are want to get the vaccine, I want to get back to normal. So whoever's on board to get it, they can, but it won't be Troy Parham.
You know, interesting enough. I kind of take that same position. You know, but it's not about me right now. You know, it's about my twins that's on right now, my brothers. You know, you didn't give me the opportunity to. I want to hear, what's your biggest moment of 2020?
For me, probably, you know what? As a police officer, I'll let me jump into, you know, some police information. for me, it was my coworkers, my white coworkers, dealing with well, two things. And we actually did a film on the topic. So let me just, not a shameless plug, but dealing with this year, dealing with the police murders of Black people, and how it was interesting how my white coworkers, hearing some of their opinions on it and how divided we are inside the departments now, and with the public thing that we're on the same page with them. It's crazy because I'm Black and I'm a cop. So now to Black people, I'm not Black enough, and then to my white coworkers, I'm not down with the uniform enough. We're like being squeezed in between these two groups. I'm just mind blown at both sides, not how they view us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I think
for my communities, for them to think that it's even a consideration, like that we would choose the uniform over. I'm Black first.
Right.
It's not even a question. I don't even know why people would think that we're on the fence with this whole thing. No, we're not on the fence.
No.
Yeah, I think I think that's the nuance that a lot of us don't think about. That's a nuance, and a lot of that anger, which it is anger, and resentment is that the people who we that are hired to protect and serve us, unfortunately that handful, which is not all, right, like you, my brother, right, it's just a handful that becomes the apple that taints the whole batch.
Right.
And when it goes viral, or when it goes to a platform that we constantly look at, media,
right,
then that becomes the story, that becomes the narrative for everything. And it's hard that people that becomes dear to you sometimes are those people who we are saying, oh, we hate,
Right.
And it's hard to have that discussion without for someone who considers themselves like journalists or the academic, or people that are not as informed, right?
Sure.
We have to have those conversations that's not over their head, so they do understand that it's a media literacy thing here.
Yep.
It's certain images that's in play that's going to make you think something if no one is there to clear that up, right? And so I say all that to say that I do understand some of that, because I'm part of, and I've been in the streets where I have seen cops. I have been beaten up by a cop before, and so I get it, but I do understand my sister is a cop, right? So I get that. So I do understand that idea of being squeezed, right? Understanding that there's two sides of these things, but what I do think is that we have to be a little bit more informed, and those that are being shine, that light, they have to be understanding and know that like I get it, but you have to show that you are the example, right?
And I think the first thing has to be that people have to accept the fact that, which is what all of them are doing. And my brother, he raised a good point, is that anybody that thinks that what's been going on with the police is not a race issue is just delusional. Because I was a police. I've been retired from the police department for 4 years. I was a cop for 15 years. I got mistreated, and I was a cop. I got mistreated by the white people who were over top of me. So it's every bit a race issue. It's not a cop issue. It's not a bad cop. It's bad people. I was a supervisor in the police department, and every time somebody said, "Oh, I hate cops," I said, "Don't say you hate all cops, because that guy would be a jackass if he was a priest." It's the people, it's the person wearing a uniform. It's not about you're categorizing it, and yes, it's very much not a police issue. It's a race issue.
Right.
It is, because it even happens inside the department. My brother gets mistreated by his chief and all that stuff. You know why? Why do you think it is? He's not mistreated because he's a cop.
He tried.
He tried. Right, exactly. Nope, it's very much a racial issue. And until everybody has that understanding, it's not going to be no resolution.
No, you know what? Here's what's interesting about because I think it boils down to accountability. I think that's what people really want to see is cops being held accountable when they do things. And the interesting part of that dynamic is that departments are firing them, DAs are charging them, and the not guilty verdicts are coming back from juries of their peers. They're not cops. The people who let them go are the very people who are the same people that these things are happening to, civilians, or judges who are voted in those places by us. So it goes past what police are doing. We don't convict. You know, the convictions come from courts. They come from you guys who sit on juries. That's where, you know, it can't just be pressure on the police department. It got to be pressure on the whole system. The whole system
as a whole. Exactly.
On the whole system.
You know what? I want to, and Stace, because Stace is our producer for the show. I want to bring you guys back on the show so we can get a full kind of interview with you guys. Because I think, you know, you shed light on a lot of different things and has a wealth of knowledge. And I would love to bring you guys back on for another full interview if possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And so I know, you know, we just asked you guys to just come on and, you know, to tell us, you know, what was your highlight of the, you know, of the year. But I do want you guys to leave all your information for all that's watching so they know how to get in contact with you, where they know how to find you and all that good old stuff.
Hold up, can I ask him a question? Because I haven't seen him in a long time, Troy.
What's up, sir?
We started shooting movies back in 2003. And it's beautiful to see their growth, you know, because we haven't laid eyes on each other. And these brothers have went from being extras to being their own producers and filmmakers. You know, I need you to talk about that. You know,
So this is what we can do then. If you guys don't mind coming back on after kind of like about I'll say 10:45, we want you to come back on in and we can have more conversations. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm. We can come back on. Absolutely.
No doubt. So this is what we're going to do, Troy and Trev. I want you to come back on, log back on at about 10:45, and we'll bring you right back on. It look like somebody else is trying to get in. We lose past time. That's why.
We can do that.
My brother, we appreciate you. We'll see you in a minute.
Yes, absolutely. Sir. Pleasure, man. Absolutely.
No doubt. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Troy and Trev, we're going to bring them back on so we have a little bit of time to talk to them just a little bit more. You know, we have people logging in. This was a jam-packed show. We try to get everything in this show. But you know, it's one of those things. I'm not sure which one of our guests tried to get on, but they should be hitting us back shortly. And I want y'all to have all the questions y'all needed for them. So while we're waiting for our next person, why don't we do this? Exclusive. You know what? I'm bringing exclusive. You know what? Now I want exclusive to close our show. So I want big. Oh, that's Touch. Touch jumped on. Wait, hold up.
It is 10:30.
Oh, that's a.
It's 10:30.
Wow. Hold on.
And I said we was having a special guest come on at 10:30. However, this person is not a guest. Okay, this person is home. This person is one of the reasons why We Talk Weekly even exists. Okay, this person needs no introduction. My sister, my friend, Tish Krypton.
How so happy to be here.
Look at all beautiful.
Hello, beautiful.
I needed the whole family to be here for Charles, don't cry.
You know, I had to think about what I was going to wear because I ain't want to get called out on the side in the chat. So I had to make sure that I was halfway coordinated. Wait, I'm loving the show, y'all. Like, I'm so entertained.
Charles has not said a word.
Oh, he knew I was coming.
No, none of us.
Yes. Y'all keep this from him.
This is the perfect way. The perfect way.
You know, Tish, you know I'm the only one that can get away with that.
I know. I was like, hey,
this is the perfect way to close out this year.
I know. She was like, why is she in this room the whole time? I'm like, hey, y'all. I'm like,
how have you been, Tish?
It's 2020. That's like, I remember Charles was saying earlier, he asked everybody that. I told myself I stopped asking people that because it's such an awkward question. Like how are you? I think it's like super appropriate, like the individual, like their mental health, but like it is so crazy. Like and my answer is always like I'm blessed. Like it's a lot of people going through some stuff that I can't even imagine right now. Like December 31st, y'all, it's on.
Yeah.
And I'm not in that situation, thank God, and none of my immediate family is. So I'm just counting my blessings. Shoot.
You are happy to have Adam Church here back in the house with us tonight.
Hey, I gotta say this real quick. It's so awesome to see you and Charles together. Not that it's not to see everybody else, but one of the first interviews that I was charged with scheduling for the Crush and Roll Morning Show was Charles. Yes, and I was so like, first of all, me and Charles wasn't as close as we are today, right?
Okay.
So it was like that cold call, that cold reach out, like, hey, I got this morning show going on, and my job is to get you guys on the show by any means necessary. And you guys kind of spoiled me because it was so easy. You guys was like, hey, what are you doing? PC ready? Yeah, we down. Let's go. Showed up, not only on time, didn't have a huge writer, didn't need anything special. You guys came on and crushed the whole show. I'm telling you, it was one of the best interviews that I ever did on the Crush and Roll Morning Show. So I always consider y'all family. I'm so happy to see that you're doing well. The family and the husband and Charles is doing great with Lady Sparkle and Sizzle. So it's just such an important platform, and to see all you guys here all together at once, it just feels good in my spirit, and I appreciate all of y'all. It's just so good to see Tish back, on camera. Like, loving
that, like, it's so crazy how this show creates so many long-lasting friendships, because that I remember we went on that show, and that's when I met Jamie, who is right now battling
cancer. Jamie Jams, yeah.
And she was
She's in remission, actually.
And I was like, I want to be her friend. And I was like, I love this guy. I want to be his friend. And it was just like, and we're friends. Like, great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And Jamie is in remission right now.
Yeah.
So
she's
applause
so
and congratulations to her. Like, just her spirit, just the way she smiled. Yeah. I've never seen that before. And Al Harris runs a nonprofit called Cancer Who, and he deals with some pretty strong people every day. But I've never seen anybody like Jamie just smile. Like, Jamie never acted like she had cancer. She never behaved in a way that she was down. You would never know. She just continued living. Found somebody special. Moved to a new city. I don't want to give up too much of our business. Radio brand and imprint. And it was just like, it was just a thing that was there in the background, and it never stopped her from just chugging along and just succeeding.
But you bring people like that, together. You know what I mean? Like, when I saw, I was like, biggest close. I was like, oh my God. I was like, together. You're the glue.
Yeah. Like, I always say on my show that I'm blessed to be able to have the friends that I have. Like Cole is a super huge. Like, I remember meeting Cole for the first time at PC Radio, and Cole just seemed like initially he was just like this shock jock almost, and I'm like, he's saying these things, but he was so entertaining. But we got to talking about life and about cameras and about production. We even shot some stuff together, and it's just like, I don't know. This group of people here brings really good people. You know what I mean? Period. It's just the aura that flows through this whole network of positivity, great energy, and great spirits. Even T is just such an amazing person, and her depth and her knowledge and her ambition and her drive, and just the things that she is able to, do on a weekly basis with her show. Love Life Wednesdays, if you guys don't know, 8 p.m. on Wednesdays on Facebook. But yeah, just being able to do her show and talk to her and become friends with T. And we met for the first time last year on this very wrap-up show, like in studio. So and we've continued our friendship, and she's taught me so many things about, business, and congratulations to her on After Cosmetics. Like, she's just doing a wonderful job pivoting, and just seeing her pictures posted on Facebook are amazing. Like, just late sparkles. Like, again, just this aura that this show brings is why I always say the culture needs this. The culture needs this unequivocally. And Antoine just kind of confirmed exactly what I've been saying for the longest. So when I ask people, donate to We Talk Weekly, it's not because, I'm begging or you guys need it. It's because the culture needs it, right? And I don't just say that. I definitely donate my own money. You know what I mean? And I know you guys pretty much personally. I could call you guys and say, here's money. But the fact that it goes to the show, because I want to progress the show forward, because this platform needs to be for the culture, and it needs to be so much bigger than what it is, because you guys touch people in such a positive way. And the way y'all, again, disseminate the information so that everybody can understand it and be relative to so many people on so many levels, again, is like I keep saying, the culture needs it. So
I think you also, you guys have to also understand how inspiring you are, because you are the reason why I have a career in media. I never even imagined this until I met Charles. Charles taught my first class, and then I got involved, and then I was inspired from there. So that's, to me, is the most amazing thing that you guys do, is that you kept it alive and you keep inspiring people. The big thing about this platform is that it's hard to get people to support you, because oh, well, no, I don't want to support them, because I want to do my own thing, and it's like, that's what I love about you guys, is because you constantly are just supporting and people and inspiring them. Yeah, go do your show, go do this, it's and then you provide your platform for them to come and share their information. So I owe you two the utmost for inspiring me to do what I'm doing, because Love Life Wednesday, it was just a little engine that could, and now up to 2,000 people tuning in a week. So it's you gotta stay humble to yourself, but then always stay connected to where the people inspire you the most. I love you guys for what you've done.
Yeah.
Madam Touch, I wanted to ask, hey boo, so glad to see my boo. So I had to ask you a question. What was your most memorable We Talk Weekly moment?
Memorable We Talk Weekly moment.
Oh my.
It's funny because I had just saw a clip from you when we covered the DNC. And we would go all over the place. I remember that. Gorilla antics we had to do, and then we found ourselves in this marijuana bar.
Yes.
In South Philly, trying to get people to talk to us about the election, and they were so woke. So I felt like people weren't gonna know the answers, but they did, because they're probably had different politics all day, I guess. But we had so much fun, and that was such an experience, a historical moment. And it was just, we're usually doing studio work, and to be out in the field like that was just a lot of fun.
Yes. Yes.
I love to hear from Charles right now.
Yeah, tell your mom.
No, I think I'm just here for the moment.
I meant to call you back the other day to ask you how you was doing with that production idea that I gave you.
Oh yeah, it's in the works. Just putting it together. It's in the works.
Okay.
So I want to say something. I've known Charles for 26 years. And he's always been a visionary. We sat in the room, storefronts to shoot for a long time. And I've been with Touch before she had the baby. I swear she named him after me, but that's enough. Right. And to sit back and watch my family grow and always be kind of behind the scenes doing stuff, because I don't normally like to be out in the front. Is emotional. It's beautiful to see the culmination of what has grown. And I'm just blessed to have y'all two as family and you as my brother. You know what I'm saying? And to see the new people, like you got new beautiful people. I know Tanemus all the time. I ain't worried about T. She's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, not because I've built my own personal relationships and watched everybody grow from nothing.
That's
like,
right.
You could talk about T. Me and T got our own conversations from nothing. Charles from nothing. Exclusive from nothing. Like, to see where people are at now is emotional for me. And I gotta say, like, honestly, that might be my number one from 2020 besides getting married. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's dope to be here and to sit quietly and watch the flower bloom. So I want to give all y'all flowers.
Wow. Yeah, can I comment? I know I talk a lot, but I got to tell y'all on camera, Hope is recording, how awesome this show is. The work that you all have continued to do. I'm about to put everybody on Front Street. Deal with me. Lauren, like, I remember doing that event at the Comcast Spotlight, and I was like, all right, you're going to interview this next person on the red carpet. And she was like, no. I was like, and then you're going to go back out there and interview this person on the red carpet. And I mean, you sound like a news reporter when you Sizzle. Like, you have grown so much. And, you know, and I used to be like, why is she scared? She's an actress. I should be getting points from her. Like, she know how to work a camera, you know. And so just the growth there. Stacey, I mean, you are just, you know, I just look up to you so much. Like, you know, your professionalism, your attention to detail, your ability to just keep people in line, like, you're so bossed up. And just to see, like, the you've all, like, I don't even want to say growth because you've been doing big things way before all of this, but like, you're managing so many different things and so many different groups of people and impacting so many lives. It's just admirable, and like, you're just so bossed up. So I always bow down.
I just do whatever Charles tells me to do.
No, Charles do whatever you tell him to do. Keep it real. Keep it 100% funky. He's scared. He's gonna pull out on you. No, it's fine. But and Sparkle, like, I remember your audition. Like, and I was like, okay, why are we asking questions here? Like, this girl clearly has something. And the growth, just, I remember taking you out the red carpets and you just jumping out there, and now you just flawlessly know exactly what to say, when to say it, how to say it. And I just love just seeing everything. And Charles, since you won't be quiet, I'm gonna make you talk now. I'm gonna ask you some questions. How does it feel to, when you think back, you talk the talk?
That's right.
And you talk the talk, right? And you see, you know, K numbers of subscribers on YouTube, you know, running on 10 years of continuous programming every week. How do you feel when you think back and see where you at now?
Man, it's just no, you know what? It's a beautiful thing, and you know, it becomes a habit. It becomes something that's mandatory and necessary to do. And when it comes when it's like I don't know,
take
like
yourself off.
when we,
Charles is speechless.
Yeah,
it was
like never because of your vision.
He never not
Like,
had
never.
anything to say.
No,
How does it feel, Charles? You feel good? You feel great? Are you speechless?
no, it feels real good. I'm just excited. I mean, you know, it's just one thing to see that, you know, all of the work that has been put in it, you know, and seeing what's happening. You know, it's just a beautiful thing. I mean,
You a man of few words now.
You know what, Charles, you know, he does a lot of the interviewing. He asks a lot of the tough questions. But Charles is so humble that whenever we try to praise him or give anything to him, he shuts completely down, like right now. And I know right now what you feeling, he's just thankful. You know, he didn't know Tish was coming on. Like I said, it's our end of year. I wanted the whole family to be here. I'm so grateful for all of y'all making time for us. Big Exclusive, T, Jacoby, all of y'all just being here. It means so much. And me and Tish were talking earlier in the week, so I was like, hey, you know what I mean? And it meant a lot because for all of our new viewers, this show, you know, our original show, this Tish and Charles were the creators of this show, and it came out of a class they did, an improv class, and then it turned into something real. And the name of the show was Talk the Talk, and then that name changed to We Talk Weekly, and we were doing a ton of studio work. So what you're watching right now is actually We Talk Weekly After the Talk, which is the spinoff from We Talk Weekly, the radio show portion of it. And when I started working with the two of them, they were already doing the show, and I was just like in studio and just like behind the scenes, and whether it was helping Tish with, you know, getting to her wardrobe or getting people, you know, ready, or the guest, or micing people up, or I don't know. I'm always just a person behind the scenes feeling like I'm just yelling at people. So I'm glad I get to actually.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yell at him. You better be on time.
I'm like this. Let's go. I need this. Get this. You know, time to start action. Let's go. So I'm always, you know, I'm like, you know, I come on here, I'm smiling, I'm calm, cool, and collected, but like behind the camera, a lot of times I'm freaking out. But it's to make sure that everything they needed was like seamless and it flowed nicely. So when, you know, those cameras start rolling, it looked good. So I am so happy to just have all of y'all here and to even have Tish come say some words. And Charles worked so hard, so hard.
Yes.
And he pushes all of us, and he's the reason for all of us being here. And we love you, Charles.
Yeah,
definitely.
So take your flowers, because you got everybody else take yours, sucker.
I want to say thank you too, because when I had came on board, like Tish said, we was I think we did something at the movie theater, and you was like, no, Sparkle, go out there. And I was like, coming from what, you know, Lauren said, like, I'm an actress, I don't know this, you know, and it was just coming on to this, it was just the professionalism, the love. Tish had a gathering at her house, and when I came on board, she had gave like a brunch for all of us, and it was just to, you know, just to get together, to welcome me, and to just have everybody in unity and to just show love. And I just love the support. Even when I met T, Kobe, Big Shan, I was like, I gotta get that one, even collaborating with him. And then Lauren is my sister. Stacy she's my big little sister because I'm older than Stacy, but Stacy definitely, she's like, just, and it's coming, and I love her, how authentic she is. She keeps everything in movement, and it's not anything that's coming from a place of anything that's negative. It's always a place of evolving. And, you know, even Lily's, you know, that's my little sister too. And when she came on board, you know, it was like, she just got right into it. And because this is independent media, we give our own money. We give our time. There's no money that we're getting except for the donations and stuff. So I thank God for allowing me to meet each and every one of y'all. I mean, you know, like I said, with me and T, we was doing different events, and she and I just clicked. So you guys are definitely my family, and I love y'all, and I thank y'all for embracing me and just bringing me on.
Let me tell you something. T clicks with everybody, and I've heard everybody on here talk about their personal interactions, relationship with her, and I too have that same personal relationship with her. And I know I could call her for anything, and when we have our conversations and we have our time, we have our moments, and then it doesn't matter how much time goes by that we don't talk. if I pick up the phone call anytime, it's like we just pick up right from where we left off. And I love her so much. And she should definitely be like some type of self-help person or counselor or something. You know, if y'all got issues, call T.
Good to know. Because I got those.
I got you. For sure.
But then I said, I don't know, y'all, I know y'all looking at the time, but I was preparing the whole show. I was like, I gotta know what to say about 2020.
Go ahead.
So I'm like really eager to talk about what I prepared.
Maybe Charles will have some questions when you finish.
Hopefully. Number one thing, biggest thing from 2020 this year, and I'm going a positive route, is Black people. Black people are killing the game this year. Okay?
Yeah.
Like all across the board. Look at Big Exclusive. Big Exclusive selling cakes, pies, wine. Everybody buying them. Our old guest Hank selling cinnamon buns. Can't keep them on the shelf. The real estate game for Black people is huge right now. You know, with the whole what's the old boy? I can't even think his name. Anyway, but really big Black real estate is popping off right now. Black business, we shut down at during the year, said blackout. Black businesses saw a 200% increase. Okay, like we're making money. People were like going out their way to be like, no, I could buy that, but I'm about a Black one. You know. And so Black people like had to come up this year. We took it to the streets. We told these white folk, they listening. A lot of Black Lives Matter floating around in nonprofits now, so they putting their money where their mouth is. Like Black people was like really saying hell no, and we saved the country with the election. Like Black people killed it this year, so they was beating our ass. They do always do that. We really took it to the people this year.
Absolutely.
That's my 2 cents. I will hard on that.
For Black people.
Black people.
That's what she was talking about too. That's what she was talking
I know. I'm sleeping.
Shan, I'm gonna have to.
I need some because my cup is empty.
I got
Are you the only one who's had it, Sparkle? Are you the only one who's had it?
I had the mango. Y'all better get with it. It's sweet, it's nice, and it's smooth, and it goes excellent with a ribeye steak. I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
Look, you got pairings and everything, huh?
I know, you hear her.
Shout out to Black people. Tish, you nailed it with that one. You definitely nailed it with that one because one thing 2020 has taught me is that if you wasn't born to hustle and be on your job, it just ain't
no.
It's not in you. Like again, I've watched my friends and other entrepreneurs pivot so well. And let me just say this before I even get into that. The one thing that I did see, at least amongst my group of friends and other entrepreneurs, is the level of information that they was willing to share was at an unbelievable all-time high, right? Because for the most part, traditionally speaking, Black people kind of hoarded knowledge. Like, yo, I need to hold on to this for whatever reason. I don't want to go negative or left with this, but I want to say the people that I know that I personally reached out to for information and reached out to for game unequivocally said, here it is. This is what you need to do. I got your back. Up and into and including saying, yo, if you need some capital, I got you. So I was extremely blessed during 2020. Despite what's been happening, it's been a great year for me. My girls have been happy and healthy all year. Beautiful students, even them being able to, adapt to virtual learning, me being able to adapt to virtual sales and getting more in depth in, digital marketing. Again, like I said, I called Charles a couple times, like, bro, what's happening? What's going on? He's like, Big E, I got what you need, hun. This is what you need to do. I called Sparkle. Sparkle, like, hey, I see what you're doing, and I have an idea. And, you know, we got some stuff in the works. The point is, I'm just second what Tisha's saying about Black people stepping up to the plate, sticking together and saying, listen, let's do better. Again, I expect to see successful Black versions of everything. Down like from sneakers to purses to clothes. I know Charles is heavy into fashion. I can't even imagine what this boy closet looked like. But again, we need to step up and create Black-owned versions of everything. Like, I don't want to hear that there's no Black telecommunications or car dealerships or makeup lines when we clearly have After Cosmetics. My daughter is Maywa Cosmetics, excuse me, and even down to the cannabis industry. I know they kind of backed us out or try to elbow us out with that mandatory liquid of $2 million or whatever it is for each specific state. But what we have to do is get creative. There are peripheral businesses around manufacturing in the marijuana business that we can most certainly get into, whether it's banking, whether it's security, whether it's processing, whether it's waste disposal, whether it's CBD and or growing hemp. Those are opportunities that are just as, if not more lucrative than the cannabis industry itself.
I'm looking at the human resources, the training, like there's business, marketing, like there's a whole industry in the industry.
I think that the thing that supports what you're saying also is now people are open and it's politically good for them to let us in. You know, before it was okay to shield us out. Now it's okay to let us in, you know, and they're asking for us.
But it's not, it was never, I still don't think it's okay that they're thinking like, let us in. I think the problem is all of us who've been to jail, and I'll admit that on air, I've been to jail for marijuana, okay? The problem is we have the knowledge. We've been cultivating hemp and or marijuana for a long time. So it's not like they want to let us in. They kind of have to let us in because
I was just talking about in general. I wasn't specific. I'm talking about everything.
Right. But I also think,
but I agree with you on that.
I think it's just like everything else. When we ran numbers, now they got lottery. When we were doing the alcohol and tobacco, everything that we've done culturally, they've taken it and said, hey, we're going to go ahead and make money off of it. And they're doing the same thing again, but in 2020 with legalizing, decriminalizing marijuana.
I think that's why we all have to have conversations and know what the expertise are of everybody so that we can help everybody.
Yes.
The things that happened with me when I was in grad school and all this education I have, professor clearly told me, your education and everything does you no good if you don't share it with your community. So that's what I do. I share it with my community. Not everybody has a PhD. Not everybody has an MBA. So having that type of knowledge, I just want to share it with my community. And Shannon and I have had these conversations multiple times about, I say, you're not a business until you're a business. Use my knowledge and let me help you be a business. And then we can go from there. So it's being in this environment where let's just share. What is your expertise? What do you know? I have 25 years in finance. Talk. If you don't know, you need to talk to me if you're not sure about a balance sheet, income statements, and you want to apply for this loan, but they need 5 years of financials and you don't know what the heck you're talking about. I know who you need to talk to. And don't be afraid to ask.
Can I get a loan?
He said alone.
So I just want to jump in and because we're at the top of the hour, and I just want to thank Tish for jumping in. You know, I was really on it. You know, I wasn't expecting it. But I do have to say that We Talk Weekly wouldn't be, and I kind of said it in the show. You know, I didn't know that she was going to come in, but I have to give her half of that credit. You know, it was I wouldn't have been able to do the show without her, and having a team like y'all. See, I hate to anyway. I appreciate
We love
Y'all-
you. We love you, girl.
you know,
That was good.
Y'all
Y'all
the goats. Y'all the goats. of We Talk Weekly, the triple double OGs.
yeah, but you know, it's one of those things that you can't do anything by yourself. As much knowledge as I do know, as much knowledge as I have, the talent that I have, that I know that I have, I still couldn't do this without y'all. So, you know, Shannon, Stace, all y'all, you know, Cole, Lauren, you know, Lauren has been like, you know, my 1-2, you know, Tanima, Lily jumped in on two, like boom, you know what I mean? You know, and you know, Classy Lady. So, you know, I appreciate all y'all. And, you know, I know we were supposed to only have Tish on for a minute. You know, so I'm gonna let her go because, you know, she has a family, you know, and she has been holding things down.
Trying to kick me out the room because you got the other guys coming in here. See, trying to keep time. I got you. I sit here and talk to y'all all day. But
I ain't kicking you. You already know, like,
no, it's okay. I could exit the room if you need me to move with the plow and Stacey ain't cutting me out.
But before I let her go, I do want to pull up these couple comments because I do want you to address certain things. Because, you know, Eli said the We Talk Weekly team supports many talented creators in Philadelphia and beyond. Truly a blessing and gem in the city. So Tish, I want you to kind of address that. And, you know, because I mentioned it early, the reason why we kind of created the show. So I want you to just kind of like touch on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, you know, you watch TV, you don't see none of the good people, right? We talk about all the trash you see. You don't know what's going on in the community. People don't have a platform and a voice. The people that matter. And, you know, Philadelphia, and Stacey, you could probably correct me on this, is like the 5th largest television market in the country. That's not 4th. That's not small potatoes. There's a lot of talent in the city, and had it been like Philly Cam as a platform, it was important that when we made Talk the Talk, that it was about bringing in people from the community so they could talk about what they're doing. And so, you know, our first guest was Ron Wilch, who's the stepfather to Eve, the rapper, and Stacey Wilson, guru, party promoter, and event producer, artist. You know, and so those are the kind of people that we were bringing on. Manuel Glenn, Kamari Ellis, Charles Tank Harris. You know, these are the people who we were bringing on, who was really educating the community. We were building community at Philly Cam. So it's just important to do that when you have that opportunity, and the platform that we was using, it was just the most appropriate.
No doubt. And one last thing somebody said, and I know Kobe got to get ready to jump off, but I want to make sure that we get his top 5 in. But she said, wow, you guys truly have evolved into Black excellence. Love your show. I can't wait to see what you bring in 2021. And you know, I think that's a good point, and I thank her for saying that. But I do want you, Tish, to talk a little bit about you know, how we felt the importance of, you know, independent Black businesses and giving them a platform to be, you know, to be vocal about the things that they do and why that was necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just culture. It's just like our culture, Charles and I's culture, was to support the people in our community, right? And so when you looked at these Black businesses, we were like, okay, we got to give them the platform. And we pushed the envelope. I remember getting episodes pulled because we went too hard to support the guests that we had on the show. And it was like, oh, you can't put that on air. That's commercial. That's not commercial. We were just talking about what they did. I think so. It's just really important that we continue to elevate that, because that is the dollar we have to recirculate in our community and keep it in our community. And we're Black entrepreneurs. And so if white media is not going to talk about Black business, so Black media has to talk about Black business. And, you know, I didn't think of it at the time, Charles, like of us being in this Black media genre for some reason. Like I just kind of thought, oh, we're just like every other media outlet. But Black media as well is equally important, because we're telling our own story.
That's right. That's right. There you go. Because
Wow.
you know, one thing that I always say that if we don't tell our narrative, somebody else going to tell it for us and create one. You know, and so we want to control the narrative, control the message. You know, and that's very important, especially when it comes to people who look like us. So with that said, I appreciate you, Tish. You know, I love you.
Love
my
you.
sister. You know that. Love you like you my blood. So
Absolutely.
and you know, with the show, you always come on whenever you want to come on. Just jump on it.
I'm gonna try to find a way to weasel on in there.
No.
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna what I click on. Okay. All right. Love
Bye,
you all.
sis. Love
Kiss
you.
my nephews. Kiss my nephews for me.
Absolutely.
No doubt. All right, no doubt. All right, we bringing Troy back in. I know his brother was trying to come on, but before we go into that, I want to have Colby just jump on it because he has to do his top 5. So Colby, holla at me early.
Yo, so first, my first thing, like, coronavirus has really been good to me. You know, my first thing, my number 5 thing, I should say, was getting married. So I got to enjoy my wife
Congrats, bro.
more than I would have got to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And so I got time to take that time. Number 4, I would say was I didn't like the term social distancing because I felt like we were physically distancing, but now socially connecting, and that leads to dang, I just lost his name. The big house party, DJ D Nice. That was the dopest, one of the dopest movements that I sat and got a little what you call saturated or inebriated to. I thought was dope. Number 3 was hybrid learning. This home learning, and I thought it really revealed a lot, not just about teachers but about parents. You know, because I truly believe the biggest thing with education and success is parent involvement, and you really got to see what the difference was going to be, or the difference maker for a lot of these kids out here, which is heartbreaking.
Yes.
Number 2 was I switched to Canon.
Hey.
So Sony,
what?
I switched to Canon. I got the Canon R6 right now because I'm actually purchasing the C70 for my cinema camera. So I do my photos with my R6, which is sweet. Whew, it's like driving a BMW or Mercedes for photography. And I'm getting the C70 because that's almost a transition. And I was a diehard Sony shooter. Like I'm a diehard Apple guy. I will not move to Android. I will not do it.
That's right.
I cannot do it. And the last thing was really
hold on. Hey, Cole, hold on.
Keep going, Cole.
Keep on going.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, so I'm gonna pull the frat card and say, you gotta get out of jail free card.
Thank you. Please do something with him.
So the last thing though was I had to really I had time to reflect on me. I'm always doing stuff for other people. I'm always sharing or helping or supporting other people. And this time I had to really reflect. You know how they say sometimes you gotta appreciate yourself? And it's crazy because even listening to this, I got to see my influence. And I really had to take time to think about who I was and where I was, because I didn't really realize who I was. And now talking about where I'm going to go. Like this year was a great year. I edited a short film. I got a movie getting ready to come out on Netflix. I'll holler at y'all about that later. And I'm a certified drone pilot. Like a lot of these things were able to manifest itself because I was able to move forward, because I was able to reflect on what I did in the past. And it's been a beautiful thing with me, besides having a beautiful wife. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I gotta get ready to roll, but I do want to hear what my brothers got to say about their evolution, because I started when they were starting. We sat on set together, seen them with cop suits on, fake cop suits. Right? And now I see them being their own producers and actors. Like, y'all, for me to watch everybody on here, except for maybe 2 people, and I'm sorry, sisters, I didn't get to meet you, but I hope that I will see. But to watch y'all grow from the beginning is like awesome. And to be able to say, like, it's not arrogant or nothing. I want y'all to take it to say that I poured into everybody on here. You know what I mean? The twins been in my house. We talked about editing. You know what I mean? I've been in this basement. You know what I mean? I've been with Taneemas. I could talk forever about me and Charles. You know what I'm saying? I've sat with the beautiful lady. Mwah, mwah. You know what I mean? And it's amazing to be a part. Like, I'm overflowing. I'm gushing. I'm sorry. I ain't like Charles. I ain't quiet. I talk a lot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I love the growth. I love what everybody has done individually and collaboratively, and it's beautiful. Now go ahead, fellas. I'm gonna shut up before I log off.
Before they jump on, I just gotta say that, you know, all who's watching, all who will watch, that all of the visuals and pictures that you see are photo shoots. Kobe has done them. And so it's important to make sure that, you know, we acknowledge that, because a lot of people like our brand. A lot of people like how we look. And a lot of that has to do with the images that we take, which Kobe has done. You know, I'm a stylist, right? I can make us look fantastic all day, every day, but without the pictures, it doesn't mean anything, right? And so kudos to you, my brother. Yo, go ahead, Glenn. Sorry, I just jumped in with that. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. I forgot what we were talking about.
Y'all evolution, man. From the beginning to where y'all are now.
Yeah, it's I appreciate that recognition, man. It definitely was what was the journey for all of us. I the same thing Kobe just said. Everybody that I know on this call, I've seen, you know, the evolution. We worked with Stacey forever. We love her to death. She's, you know, produced, directed us. You know, you guys were on your show. Whenever you guys want us to come on the show, we're on board with that. We've watched how you guys have grown. We all have. I think we all deserve the same recognition, but we do appreciate that, Kobe, just seeing it. We did. We came a long way. And it's about all God's grace, man. That's it.
Troy, you're on mute. Troy, you're mute.
Fix your mic, boy.
Yo, is this thing on? Is this
thing
on?
Now it is.
I just want to say before you sign off, Team Droid. Just so you know, I'm Team Droid.
Right. Oh, no.
Team Droid, Trev. Team Droid, Trev.
Yes, sir.
Team Droid. All right.
Android users be so hyped when somebody shouts.
I don't have eyelashes, iPhones, iPads, nothing. I will never will, and y'all can keep it.
It's like 100 of them in the country, Sizzle. So when they find each
other, go to jail. Go straight to jail. Straight to jail.
So y'all continue to talk about your evolution, though, twin.
So you know what? I think back to, it's funny because I think back to Millionaire, which is the first film that we did. That was 2007 or 8. And
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, now we're looking at making films for 12 years now, and how many people we met along the way. Everybody that's on this call here, we learned so much from everybody. You know, we love what we do. We love the people that we've met. You know, we've grown because of people like yourself. So when I hear people say things like this guy just said, how much we've grown, I think it's not, you know, it's because of who we met, who we worked with while we've grown.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, while we've grown.
Absolutely.
Stacey.
Yeah, man.
Look, I appreciate y'all. I gotta roll. Much love.
Yeah, I'm holler about that drone. That drone, you can fly a drone now, right?
Anytime, baby. You know that.
I got you.
Bye.
No doubt. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You know the funny thing about I want to talk about this show real quick. The funny thing about this show, we have a 2-hour show. This show was only supposed to be like 3 hours.
3 hours.
We didn't even think we had enough content for that. And we're still talking. That comes when, you know, beautiful people that's the energy that's able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so kind of like with that said, you know, I want to give y'all the opportunity again to talk a little bit, you know, deeper. But before we go there, Shannon.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead with your top 5, brother? You know what I mean? Because we were supposed to get you in by like 10:45.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you that entrepreneur life don't afford me a lot of sleep, so I'm usually up working anyway. So,
No doubt, no doubt.
So, my top list was more of a like top 10 strangest things that has happened in 2020, right? And I'm gonna try to run through this really quickly because I have a few questions for the twins, and I don't want them to go without me being able to ask this question. But number 10, gangs of feral monkeys invaded Thai city, left deserted by humans because of the coronavirus panic. So in Thailand, the Lopburi monkeys that reside in and around the city were filmed running around, I guess looking for the tourists to feed them. But because there were no tourists, nobody was there to feed them. So that's the viral video that's running around and the monkeys basically taking over a Thailand city. Number 9, which is probably should have been number 1, but because 2020 has been such a strange year, normally any other year would be number 1, but former Pentagon officials say that vehicles not from Earth have been found. So basically, there are UFOs and they exist and they are in government storage facilities. How that came and went, and nobody really talked about it. It's ran in the New York Times a couple times already. But because of coronavirus is such a big story, UFOs had to take a back seat. So there's a possibility that there's extraterrestrial life out there, but they do know for sure that these vehicles aren't man-made and they are in government storage facilities. The first major cultural sensation of 2020 was Joe Exotic, Carole Baskin, the Tiger King, and that was such a strange phenomenon because of every angle in that story. I mean, each one of those people could have had their own movie. Really, the Tiger King was its own phenomenon on Netflix. I personally think Carole Baskin did it, fed him to the husband to the tigers. I can't prove that either. But it's just another one of those strange things in 2020.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Shannon.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. What you say?
No, I said I'm so glad you brought that up. I mean, not the Carole Baskin thing, just Tiger King, because it was a big thing, and I think we might have forgot about it. Some people, it's not in our forefront anymore. But when the pandemic and the lockdown first happened, and everybody was home.
Yeah, that was one of the first things.
Started gaining that weight, and you're in the house, you don't know what to do. I remember I stumbled across it because Netflix had they do that thing where they have their top 10, and I kept seeing it. It was like number 1 for weeks, and I was like, "What is this?" And I said, "Well, everybody's watching, so let me see what it is." And I, like everybody else in America, I got hooked. And then the storyline was crazy, and it went on and on and on. Then I had to watch the documentaries, and then the stuff after it, and listening to him in jail. It was a big thing in 2020.
It definitely was.
Yes, and he's currently trying to get a pardon. He reached out to Kim Kardashian to help him get a pardon from President Trump. Okay, so I guess that's a strange menage a trois, if you ask me. But I'm trying to run through the strange things that happened in 2020. A 2.5 million times, this star is 2.5 million times brighter than the sun, and it just completely vanished. The star, which is also known as luminous blue variables, which is located in the Kinman dwarf galaxy, which is a staggering 75 million light years away from the Earth, reportedly just vanished, right? So scientists are speculating that the star exploded into a supernova, but they can't see it because of dust or space dust or galaxy dust, or that star, which is 2.5 million times brighter than the sun, was just swallowed by a black hole. And that would be the first time that's ever been recorded. All right. Yeah, strange, right? Sticking with the UFO, and we staying in space. Miley Cyrus, daughter of Billy Ray Cyrus, claims she once had an experience with an alien after being chased by a UFO. I am not making this up. This is a quote. I am pretty sure about what I saw, but look, this is a direct quote, and I quote, "I'm pretty sure about what I saw, but I also bought weed wax from a guy in a van in front of a taco shop, so it could be the weed wax.
I can't.
Stranger
you think? I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here.
I can't.
So, moving right along.
So, Shannon, what happened? Did one of the ones that's locked up with the government, did it get released? Did one of them break out and go chase Miley Cyrus?
Maybe it wasn't a storm on Area 51. Maybe it was an exodus at Area 51 and some guy, I don't know. But she said that she came face to face with an alien after UFO chased her in San Bernardino. Okay, I'm not making this up. You Google at your own risk, people. Okay. So, how much would you pay for a round trip to nowhere? Anybody want to? How much you would pay for a
round trip to nowhere?
Is this about the trips to outer space? Are we still in space? Because I've been seeing.
We are not in space. This is
okay.
This is we are on land, on the earth.
Back down to earth. Okay.
Back down to earth. So an airline in Australia, Qantas Airlines, is offering people a unique experience. They will fly you round trip in economy for $575 or in first class for $2,765 from Sydney, Australia to Sydney, Australia. The flight sold out in 10 minutes, okay? So it's a round trip flight from Sydney, Australia back to Sydney, Australia. But there's a catch. It's not as strange as you think it is. It's basically, you know, how you go to a new city and you do sightseeing. Well, this is for the Boeing 787. You get to board the plane. They'll take you to huge landmarks in Sydney that you can see really good from above, such as Ayers Rock and the Great Barrier Reef. So it's a 7-hour trip, right? From Sydney, fly around in Australia, see all these sites, and then you land back in Sydney. And that flight sold out in 10 minutes.
I believe it.
Okay. We're going to stick to the land down under for something else strange. So in Australia, a reverse waterfall, right? Right. So you hear that and you're like, a reverse waterfall?
I'm interested.
By very definition, it's water falling. But this waterfall was running in reverse. You could see it. It's on video. Folks, I am not making this stuff up. And the show Stranger Things, they say Stranger Things has happened. No, this is legit. You can see the waterfall that's supposed to be flowing down. It's flowing backwards over the cliff from which it was coming. And again, it's very strange, but there's a very scientific explanation, and it's simple as the wind. Okay, so all you gotta do is Google backwards waterfall, and you can see they actually have footage of the waterfall flowing backwards, and it's because of nothing crazy here.
You know, I'm gonna look that up. I want to see that.
For sure, go for it. So this we at number 7, right? So this is a very strange one. So I'm gonna read this one because I was a little bit miffed at how they even know that. I'm gonna just read it. A pair of gay penguins stole an egg from a pair of lesbian.
Stop.
Stop. How do you even know that?
That's kind of where I was at with it. But this is a legit scientist, and in the Netherlands, it's actually called Amersfoort Deren Park Zoo in the Netherlands, and the zookeeper, she is named in this report. It says a pair of gay penguins stole an egg from a pair of lesbian penguins. A pair of gay penguins stole an entire batch of eggs to hatch as their own from a lesbian couple. The gay penguins named Tux and Flipper have a reputation for causing trouble, having previously stolen a single egg in 2019, which failed to hatch. They clearly didn't want to be foiled again, and this time they stole an entire batch of eggs and also took over 2 enclosures. Although the pair seemed determined to get their own little penguins, it is unlikely to happen. Zookeeper Sander Drost explained that because the eggs were produced by a lesbian couple, they won't have been fertilized and are unlikely to bring them any baby penguins. into this world. I cannot pick it up. Google it yourself, folks. I'm telling you, I just want to look for the strangest things that I could find. All right. So, strange thing number 9, or I guess number 2, depending on how you look at it. No creature grabbed more headlines than the so-called murder hornet. You guys remember that?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So bugs have been on a roll in 2020. Yes. Also known as the giant hornet, made their way to the United States in May and quickly alarmed people. A story about them taking over beehives and decapitating their less aggressive winged friends and taking their corpses home to feed their young swarmed the internet. It also like something of a horror movie, but the thing is, they weren't as bad as we thought they were. Okay, they were easily defeated once the bees determined that they were invasive, and you can see there's video out there that bees attacked the murder hornets and were able to get rid of them, as well as vacuums. Who knew, right?
Stink bug.
Right. So the last story, I'm gonna give out 2-3 honorable mentions before I get to the last one. Mysterious monoliths were erected in Utah, Romania, California, and even in San Antonio. People don't know where they came from. Another honorable mention: monkey stole COVID vaccine samples. Poland accidentally invaded the Czech Republic. But the last story, the strangest one, that is probably the most recent one. We as Black people thought we was going to get superpowers because of the alignment of the planet. And I have superpowers now, and I am going to take over the world. Okay?
All right.
Man.
You guys get superpowers, what would you get? If you get superpowers, which one would you take? I don't want to fly.
Speed.
I think I want to be invisible.
And that's nosy right there. You want to be in people's business.
I want to read people's minds.
Telepathy, that's nosy too. Get out of my head. Sparkle.
We can work together, team. Be all up in Shannon's business.
That's right. Which
I don't have much business. Sparkle.
You on mute.
You on mute.
You're sleepy now.
Right. I said invincible. Nothing can hurt me.
I like that. Sizzle.
Yeah.
I want to be able to time warp. I want to be able to travel through time, like different.
That is dangerous, but that's dope. That is dangerous, but dope. Charles, what's your superpower, bro?
My superpower. Let me show you my superpower. Hold on, here we go. Where my superpower? Here we go. Let me play.
Okay. Aquaman.
I'm so mad. I am so mad.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey, Charles, you were so good in that movie, man.
Oh my goodness.
Me, I don't think
you were so dope in that film, man.
My God, I appreciate you.
I think I'll just be Batman. Give me the money and all the toys. I'll be Batman.
No doubt.
I think we just got a new movie topic here. Troy, you know. Troy, go start writing.
I'm already writing stuff down.
But that was dope. That was me with the strangest things that I felt like.
Yes, he was. He right.
They were strange.
That's right.
He's ready.
My God, you know what? The funny thing, Shannon, you know that's the kind of stuff that I like too. I be into the, the did you knows, that I think that was an excellent into pretty much what this whole top 5 thing is, the year in review, and so I appreciate you guys for being able to contribute to that. I want to get back into the twins because we asked them to come on and just expound a little bit more about where you think the people, how you think the people, what's that?
The waterfall.
Oh, the water.
That's what I was just saying.
Did y'all see it?
Yeah.
That was decent.
So it technically is not a waterfall, right? Because it's going up.
It's a water ride.
That's wild. You know, again, like it's one of those things where like, wow, there's so many things that's in the world that you just don't know about, you know, and you just not informed of. And when you hear it, it's amazing to you. But then people in Australia, they're probably like, mate, we see that every day, mate. You know what I mean? And it's wild, you know. But again, you know, before we let you guys go, Troy and Trevor, you know, I really want y'all to expound a little bit upon, because I think you touched something really significant, and I want to give you guys the opportunity to dig a little deeper in that as it relates to, you know, how people are thinking and what they how do you believe people should think and respond, and what do you think is the answer for us to, you know, get ourselves together as it relates to, you know, the nuances of how, you know, we perceive what we're seeing, you know, especially within the media.
Oh,
I think the first thing is I mean, as far as the media goes, I was a victim of the media. You know, no offense, you guys. You know, I love the show and all that, but the media has an agenda, as my brother said, and the reality is, you're not going to get from certain platforms of media. You're not going to get all of the exact information that you should. I was involved in the incident. By the time it got to the newspaper, it was, I beat up a 9-month-old kid and threw him in the sewer. And I'm like, that is not what happened. It's totally not what happened. So, you know, unfortunately, because the media has so much power, yeah, that is an area that really, you know, we have to take as a grain of salt. Not all media platforms, but a lot of the things that you hear that have happened are just not accurate. You know, just the same thing like what's going on now with coronavirus. All these things, you do honestly believe they're throwing 30,000 bodies in the back of a Walmart truck because people are dying? So stuff is just so exaggerated. And again, because there's an agenda, there's got to be some reason that they have to pour this on in the media. It's trending. It's what's popular. So they're going to make it sound exaggerated. How come they're not telling you how many people recovered? All they bombard you with is how many people died. Why is that? So, I mean, yeah.
I don't know if there is an answer to what I would encourage people to look further than, you know, TMZ and what is the first thing that pops up on your internet when you log in. You know, don't take the first story that you get and run with it and take it as factual. You know, it's a good place to start, but I would say look further when you get certain stories from the media. Just make sure you have all the information, because that's not their job. Isn't to give you all the information; it's to give you interesting information. That's what their job is.
Yeah,
no
doubt. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So how can everybody find you guys and locate you guys? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're findable. Troy Trevor Parham. Everything's Troy Trevor Parham.
No doubt. Well, we got a little time. You know, we're gonna get into. Y'all might as well just hang out with us before we get ready to close this show out. But before, I will be remiss if, you know, we had a lot of people sending videos in wanting to be a part of this last show. So you know what, we're going to show them and, you know, just acknowledge the people who have been really supporting us, who have been on our shows before, who have been really talking about We Talk Weekly and wanting to, you know, just ride out with us. We'll be back.
Hello, all. Happy holidays. I am Robert Shern III, the actor and the model. 2020 has been a year full of challenges to all of us. But instead of focusing on the negatives, we should focus on the positives. Like if you have food to eat, if you have a roof over your head, and if you have good health, those are things that you should be grateful for, because there's a lot of people that are struggling for those three key things. 2020 has brought great things into my life, like being on the hit TV show, My Feet Are Killing Me, on the TLC network, which airs in 220 countries. And because of that show, so many other doors have opened up for me. Like the show was also aired on the Quest Red Network in the UK. Then my segment was also spotlighted on the TV show Celebrity Watch Party, where there were celebrities that reviewed my segment, like Tyra Banks, Raven Simone, the Osbournes, Romeo Miller, Master P, Lindsay Lohan, Curtis Stone, the celebrity chef, and Reggie Bush. So I got so much media coverage because of that show, media coverage in the UK, in the Daily Mail and the Metro, here in the USA, in the Hollywood Times, Pop Culture, Voyage LA, and there was several others. So in 2021, I'm looking forward to a follow-up in My Feet Are Killing Me. So if you want to watch me on Celebrity Watch Party, you can still watch it on Fox.com under Entertainment, and it's episode 5. I'm also looking forward to being honored at the Spiral Awards ceremony, and I'm receiving an award for my works in the industry. So I'm so excited about having a new president also in 2021 and a new vice president who will be the first woman and a woman of color. So happy 2021.
You know what? I gotta give a shout out to the brother Robert Stern. Because when I tell you what, probably one of the most hardest work, he said, I'm gonna get into Hollywood. And he didn't take no for an answer. And that brother keep pushing, keep working. So kudos to him. He's a big fan and supporter, and he follows the show a lot. So kudos to him. And you know, we wrapping up the show, but you know, it looks like Stacey, you wanted to say something?
I really just want to thank everybody, all of our guests who came on tonight. Big Sleep, Charles Harris, Antoine Johnson, you know, of course, Troy and Trevor, we love you guys. And big shout out to Leslie Logan. He's Upscale PR company, and she does, you know, she does a lot of work for us, you know, like behind the scenes, and I'm in connection with her a lot. And she even sent in a big donation for us tonight, and I'm appreciative of that. I just want to thank her and give her a shout out for that. But she's always there. We've been seeing her comments coming all night, so I just wanted to say thank you to her and all you guys, Sherelle Johnson, everybody. You know, a lot of the guests that we have on the show that are very busy. You know, whether it's musical artists or actors, and, you know, in Hollywood, wherever they're coming from. We're working really closely with their teams and their management and their PR people, and they're constantly, you know, just telling us what great time that, you know, folks have when they come visit us and want to come back. And I'm getting all kinds of messages, and I just wanted to share those sentiments that I'm getting, you know, via email or text through my phone. I'm constantly getting messages from all of those people just saying thank you to the team, you know, Charles, Sparkle, and Lauren, and how welcoming you're making those guys feel whenever they come on, and everybody always wants to come back. So thank you to everybody.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
There you go. Appreciate that. So you know what? This what we do before we end. Why don't everybody get their last word, their kind of last thought for the year. We about to go in. This is our last show for the year, and we about to go into 2021. So I'll start with you, Trev. Holla at me.
I just want to say everybody stay safe. You know, thank you guys for appreciating us and our work. You know, we love everybody that we've, you know, been involved with as far as our, you know, our careers go and personally. I'm looking forward to doing even better things that we did this year. This year's a wash. I think that you know, we're going to do we can collectively do you know, much better things coming in 2021, and I'm excited. And let's get it. Yay.
No doubt. Come on, brother Troy, holla at me.
I always want to say, well, you guys can help me spread this too. I want to see us stay here in Philly as much as we can. Encourage people to stay in town, keep your talents and your businesses here. You know, there's like somebody said earlier, there's a lot of talent here that don't have outlets. They don't know how to get their, careers and things to the next level. If we keep running to LA and running to Atlanta and, being all about me, we can do it right here, and let's not abandon ship, because I'm telling you guys, in the next 10 years, this is going to turn into an entertainment mecca. I want to stay here, and I want to encourage other people to stay here and just trust the process. I know that sounds cliche, but I want to encourage everybody. Next year is going to be the beginning of it, but let's stay here and let's build the city where we're from.
My God. All right, T, holla at me, big.
I like it.
I would just say my last words, just stay positive, and stay focused. Don't give up. This is the time for you to not give up. So don't give up on anything. Stay focused, re-strategize, take this time to, just do what you need to do and see the end result, and you'll get there.
No doubt. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Shannon, holla at me.
My last thought would be the moment. Like, live in the moment, laugh in the moment, love in the moment. Just be in every moment. Be appreciative that you have that moment to have, and always, like, each one teach one, man. Like, again, some of the things that I've experienced this year or any success, to be honest with you, I experienced this year was a direct result of people who are willing to share knowledge and collaborate. So let's not hoard the knowledge. Let's continue to share the knowledge and help each other, reach that mountaintop, because we all need help, and no one person is an island. Okay. No success is ever achieved with one person, doing everything or shouldering the load. Let's continue to help each other. I'm appreciative of everybody on this platform, because at every moment, all of you guys have helped me in some way, some shape or form. So I appreciate that. So let's continue to do that. Let's continue to be in the moment. Let's, live, love, and laugh, and continue to help one another.
No doubt. My God.
Yeah,
Come on,
no
Lily,
doubt.
holla at me.
All right, for 2020, I just want to say, embrace growth. There's always room for growth, whether that's self growth or skills growth, just anything. Embrace it. Also, just don't let your doubts and fears get in the way of what you want to do. Fall 9 times, get back up 10. Just keep pushing, keep going, stay safe, and always remember, you can always do whatever you put your mind to. So,
No doubt. I just want to say something about Lily. Lily has started with us as a basic intern. Jumped on, like I said, jumped on our own too, like boom, and she's been riding with the family, and now she's like our social media manager. She does our music. She's my cameraman. She does everything. You know what I mean? And like I said before, like I know that the talents that I have and the things that I can offer to the world, but I still couldn't do this without myself, by myself. I can't do it by myself. And that's why I appreciate all of y'all, because y'all hold me down. No questions asked. Y'all, the things that I say, the ideas that I have, is no questions about them. You just kind of like go in blindly and respect that, wherever I'm going, wherever I'm driving at, I'm not going to crash with y'all in the car. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate y'all for doing that. I appreciate you, Lily, no doubt. Come on, Stace, holler at me, Stace. You want mute, Stace?
I am. I'm sorry. I was over here sidebarring with noise. I feel like some others, 2020 was bittersweet. While there were a lot of things we couldn't do physically, I feel like we were able to grow in other areas, mentally, because it really made everybody become really, really creative on how to continue working, how to continue, whatever business or ventures they were on, without being physical or without being, face to face with people. And a lot of those things actually it worked out. It worked out like Tish said, Black people did, excellent in 2020. I just want to extend, my deepest condolences because there were a lot of, lives lost this year, and not just to COVID. And so for me, I feel like the biggest hurt piece for this year was families who lost people and couldn't put them to rest the way they would like to because of COVID. That hit a lot of people really hard, whether your loved one died because of COVID or not. People were in the hospital and you couldn't go see them and be with them. People were passing away and you couldn't give them a proper burial. And I think that was probably the hardest the thing that we had to deal with and overcome. But I'm a spiritual person, so I constantly stay prayed up, and I'm looking for the new year, as you can see, ready for 2021, ready for bigger and brighter things, ready to keep because I never stopped. I was like, people are like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm busy. Like, I know I don't need help, but I'm working like 3 jobs virtually, you know what I mean? So I'm just grateful and blessed to still be doing it. And thank you to everybody. Can't wait to see you all in the new year.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll let me spark.
I think 2020 was already written. It had to happen. I think I believe in divine order, and I think that 2020 was in divine order. There's a famous quote that I always say: you have to live life forward to understand it backwards. And as we move on to 2020, we're going to look back at, as we move on to 2021, we're going to look back at 2020 and be like, that's why that happened, or I understand it now. Right. And it'll come full circle, from our president being elected to them understanding and knowing how important Black people are, or us understanding how important we are to one another. Not always having to have validation from things that are out of our race and our culture, to appreciate what we have and say, this is valued. So I appreciate 2020. 2020, I lost family members and loved ones as well, but I'm looking at it on a more bigger scale to say that everything is written, and when you look at it from a different perspective, you'll get a life lesson from it.
No doubt, classy lady.
Love it, love it.
I'll let Sizzle.
Oh man,
Sizzle, what happened to your hat?
I know this hat was getting on my nerves. I gotta keep fighting to keep it on the hat over here and all that. But
if Lily can keep them glasses on her face for 3 hours, you can keep
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So 2020. Oh my gosh. The first thing that came to my mind was the best is yet to come. Sorry, I'm not used to these braces, so I still struggle with talking with it. But now the hat. That's why I took the head off.
Sorry,
but
take your time,
yeah, the best is yet to come, and we just have to stay focused because we can't live in the past. Like, we're moving on, and I know a lot of people are going to be dealing with things that, like, because some people are trying to progress, but they're dealing with the loss of a loved one, or just so traumatized by the different things that we experienced during this pandemic. Every time you turn on the news, it's a Black man being shot or murdered, or in Philly it's been rough here. So we just have to stay focused, and the best is yet to come. It's not always going to be like this. We just have to, I'm like a huge advocate for dreams. So, just focus on your dreams, focus on your goals. Like, God put, and I'm spiritual too, I pray a lot also, but God put those dreams in you, not for you just to dream, but to live them. And that's one of the things I always say is, like, live your dreams. Life is so short. Just stay focused. And 2020 is going to be the year of transition. It's going to be the year of 2021 is going to be the year of transition. And like Spark said, it was, it had to happen for things to change, for change to come about. So I'm looking for change. I'm excited for change. I know some great things are going to be happening for all of us individually and all of us as a team. We talk weekly. We're going to be talking daily. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm speaking it into the atmosphere, you know, so the atmosphere has to shift to form what I just said.
Yes.
I just want to let you all know that I love you. You know, you are my brothers and sisters. I pray for you each day. You know, I pray for what we have, our visions and our dreams and our goals. And I just feel like, you know, this is our time. This is our time. So, you know, even the twins, Shannon, you know, we love you. T, we love you so much. You support us, you hold us down, and you encourage us. It's like every day we want to give up. Every day we want to give up. We quit every day, but because of you and the support from our fans and our, you know, people that follow us and support us and encourage us, we continue to keep on going. And it's like, you know, we bleed green, we bleed blue and orange. So, so you know, we CMB, we all we got. We all we got. So we gotta hold each other down.
Yes.
We gotta hold each other down. But I just want to say I love all of y'all. I support all of y'all. Even Eli and Lou, you know, they be holding us down. Those my girls. I'm super proud of them. I'm super proud of Stace, the twins, all of y'all. All of y'all. Y'all just doing some amazing things. And it just, you guys are the epitome of Black excellence. And that's what we need to, this our year. I'm saying that for all of us, this is our year. Whatever you want to do, your goals, your dreams, research it. If you don't have a plan, like T said, talk to her about financing, about starting your business. Like, reach out to your brothers and sisters. And like, we got to stop being the crab in the bottom of the barrel mentality or whatever, and support each other. There's so much room at the table for all of us. And if there's not no room, we creating our own table.
Yeah.
So let's get it.
That's right.
2020, let's get it.
You look like you wanted to say something, Spark. You wanted to jump in?
No, I wanted you to share your thoughts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
2020.
Yeah, definitely. Before I share my thoughts, we gonna run out like this. Hold on.
What's going on? This your favorite fly guy, Charles Gregory. We Talk Weekly. Listen, everyone always asks me. They inbox me, email me, all types of things. We're trying to find your podcast. I mean, we can find videos everywhere. All we have to do is go to WeTalkWeekly.com, or all we need to do is go to YouTube, or all we need to do is turn on Business Bully Channel, turn on Higher Than 7, turn on, we can find you. But sometimes I just want to work out and I want to listen to your podcast. I want to hear the latest in the sizzle, entertainment news, or good news and bad news, or just simply, I want to hear the interviews, some music, anything sports. I just want to listen. I don't know where to find your podcast. I said, you know what? It's real simple. All you have to do is ask the right person. Watch this. Hey Alexa, play We Talk Weekly's podcast.
Here's We Talk Weekly from Amazon Music. Here's where you left off in the latest episode. Olivia Jade Red Table Talk, Kevin Hart Backlash for Netflix special No F's Given, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. And I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle
and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And this is We Talk Weekly's After the Talk to
See, I told you. It's not that hard. See, I told you. It's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is ask the right person. I'm out here. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting. Keep subscribing. Keep telling people. Chime in. We out here like that shit.
Hey. Yo, we have.
I like that hat.
I'm trying to tell you that
hat is rocking.
You
definitely rocking that hat.
Listen, when I tell you that I'm just in the house and I'm like, yo, are we on, like, how can we find it? I'm just asking Alexa, look, we're here. And so it's easy to find our podcast. If you're watching, make sure you tune in, listen to our podcast and all that good old stuff, because I'm about to end this show. But before I end the show, man, This has been amazing. This has been a blast. This ride has been fruitful, and ironically, there has been so many and more great times than not. I can't. It's been a handful of times where we felt like this is just done. You know, but I keep seeing you guys, and you know when you watch billionaire lifestyles, when you watch business billionaires talk about you know finding things to keep them going, they generally say find your why. And I've been trying hard to find what my why is. I never knew what my why is until recently when I found out that my why is y'all. I do this for y'all. I do this for the people. Like, if I did it for me, I would have been quit. Because it gets to the point where you feel like overworked or unappreciated. But then I'll talk to a Tanima, and she, when can I come back on the show, or when I'm doing this and that, and I'm like, damn, like, is that or I'll talk to Shan, and it's like, yo fam, like, yo, I want to know, and I'm doing this, can you? And it's kind of like, damn, like, it's not about me. You know what I'm saying? I look at the ladies that we talk weekly, and Lauren, my rider, I'm watching my front, she got my back. Stace keep the engine running. Lily, she birthed a new energy into everything, and Spark is just the light. She's the one that you look to, and it's just like, I gotta keep going. And so when I think of what We Talk Weekly is, I just think of We Talk Weekly is the platform for the people. It's for the people. And that's why I do what I do and continue to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I give kudos to all you guys. And I hope that you continue to, keep pushing. I appreciate all the support you've been giving to me. And I hope that all of the seeds that was planted 2020, 2021, we'll see the fruits of our labor, because we're already seeing what's starting to happen. We're getting calls where people wanting to work with us, people wanting to donate. I'm just like, wow, they really want to give some money, some good money. But it's happy, for me to say that, standing on our own too, and saying that this is our platform and running it the way that we want to run it is what makes people feel that, I love We Talk Weekly because of. And if it wasn't us standing on our own too and saying, no, this is what we're going to do, we're going to keep giving voice to the voiceless. We're going to keep having a platform for the marginalized. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're going to keep pushing the entrepreneur. We're going to keep supporting people who look like us. If it wasn't for us making that demand, then we would have been quit, man. We wouldn't be We Talk Weekly without that. And right now, as Shan say, that's why we do it. We for the culture. We do it for the culture. We are the culture. We are, the fresh faces of primetime talk, because this is what we do. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep, putting my chest out there, sticking my chest out there, ashy knuckles. Because if you want to take this, you got to fight me for it. And it's one of the things, because we work too hard for it. So with that, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do, man.
Love you.
Yeah, no doubt. And I gotta close this show up but I gotta.
Troy, did you have something before we close out?
Oh, you good, Troy?
I'm just, I want y'all to all know how much y'all are loved. I've worked with, I'm like the mayor. I've worked with half the city, and I've not run into one Philly filmmaker or, fashion industry. You guys are, you're out there. People know about you. They love you. They all speak highly of you. I haven't ran into one person that if I say We Talk Weekly, they say who? No, y'all, everybody knows what you guys are doing is great. We love you guys tremendously. The whole city does. So I want you guys to be proud of yourselves. And like you said, keep doing what you're doing, because we need you to keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. That means a lot. That means a lot for me. And I gotta give kudos to, I gotta shout out the twins too, Elon Lou, because they have been pushing hard. And they're, one thing that Troy and Trev kind of like mentioned, man, when we talk about, what Black Hollywood looks like and how can we expound upon Philadelphia? How can we make Philadelphia the it place? You know, those ladies have been pushing for that. And so, you know, because of that narrative, and Lauren can tell you, like, I'm always like, you know, we can do it here in Philly. You know, we don't have to go to Hollywood. We can be entertainment tonight here in Philly. That's what We Talk Weekly is. That's what we are. Like, we can be the entertainment for everybody, you know.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, when it comes to them, oh look, she just, no doubt, Elon. When it comes to them, you know, kudos to them. You know, I'm one of their, you know, we are their supporters. We are each other's supporters, and that's the way that we have to be in order to push for Philadelphia to be that next Hollywood, you know, for it to be Atlanta, for it to be a place where people say, I want to get found in Philly, not I want to get found in Atlanta, New York, LA. And I think Philadelphia, we will, because the talent comes from Philly. Most of the talent comes from Philly.
And goes there.
I put my money on anybody in any industry, from rap, hip hop, R&B, acting, actresses, music, jazz, gospel. I will put all of that on Philly. Real talk. All of them come out of Philly. And I challenge anybody from anywhere that want to compete with We Talk Weekly. You know, and so I'm willing to say that we're that good. I'm willing to say that we're that good. And so that's why I love Philadelphia, man. I love Philadelphia, and it's enough room for everybody, and it's enough love for everybody, man. So, you know, I just want to make sure I go about that.